Hello, my whatever the fuck you guys are, my subscribers, I don't know. Anyway, I saw a comment on my last, well, not my last video, but the one that I did on, one I did on Glory House. And, yes, I know that Polar Night is updated, whatever the fuck your name was. I don't remember. I'm sorry. My memory is not like that. But basically basically I'm thinking of redoing my first part because my narration in that one is terrible and my mic is terrible. So, yeah. I'm not about to replace the my initial reaction. Actually, maybe I shouldn't replace it because my initial reactions to a lot of the things are in there, even if my audio quality is pretty shite. Let's just get back into this. Um, load. Jeez, March 4th was the last time I did a video on this. Jesus Christ. God, this game is such calming music. But yeah, basically, let's where we left off was we were going to some restaurant. I guess I don't remember. I really don't. A cool breeze blows through my fur, sending a shiver down my spine. Autumn and Everwinter is rarely cold during this time of day. It's usually only during night or when it rains the temperature dips. Must be the beach air. Walking down Jackson Street. Okay. Cool. Yeah, it's loud. It's loud. Walking down Jackson Street, which trails alongside the beach, the ocean air nips at my loot. Okay, cool. I really don't like the ocean or the beach. Terrible places. How long has it been since I visited the beach? 5 years? Never thought I'd ever come this close to it ever again. Looking through the gap between the stores, I can see the ocean behind them. Disgusting. Disgusting. After another block, I spot that that's a person. You should change that, developer. I spot the building I've been searching for. It's a moderately long, single-floor building, modeled after a shack. The sign above it looks intentionally run down. Spelling out the name, snapping jaws. Oh god, this place sounds kitschy as fuck. It's a restaurant and bar only a short walk away from the beach. It's not shocking to see most of the tables occupied by people, leaving only the ones outside vacant. Surprisingly nerve-wracking to walk into a restaurant alone. Yeah. Yeah. Almost shameful that I ride without any company. No, it's a silly thought, but it still causes a prickling sensation on the back of my neck, causing the entire thing to itch. Oh boy. Taking a couple seconds to strengthen my fortitude, of course. 9:11. It's 9:11 p.m. on March 13th. Finally pushed forward to the open door, and I'm greeted by the instantly recognizable smell of fish. I can't imagine what this must be like for someone with a sensitive nose like Lucas. Oh. You mentioned Lucas immediately. I like that. When Lily asked me to meet somewhere near the ocean for lunch, and Oscar suggested this place, I should have maybe taken the hint that it would be primarily seafood. Doesn't take me long to find the table where a group is sitting. The otter sits tall like a beacon, despite the table being on the opposite side of the room. Next to two open doors leading to a dark light balcony. This place sounds terrible. I would not eat here in a million years. Oh, it's the two terrible characters first. Got it. I hate these two. Walking closer, I will to see only oh no. God damn it. I am far from what I think. They don't notice me heading towards them, but I glance out the corner. Two on the sides of the booth. Seen him as a long wooden table resembling a surfboard. Oh my god. That seems fine to me. I think we should wait till everyone gets here, then we can figure out where everyone will go. Now we can fit everyone pretty well, but we'll sort it out when everyone arrives. Okay. So overwhelmed, I haven't said a word before I got bombarded by the two of them. It didn't even seem planned. These people sound horrible. I would not want to be around them in a million years. Oscar slips out of the booth and stands. Okay. Jesus Christ, stop. Still wearing that yellow cardigan, it's soft color. Okay, we get it. Oh. Night or crime. Jeez. Just gonna finally finish this. Oh my god, you did that on purpose, you piece of shit. Gestures toward his side of the booth with both arms. It looks goofy, like casually he's dressed in the same tank. Yeah, cool. I guess before. Oh, Jesus Christ. Neat. I slam the booth. I sit across from Ellie. It's strange to sit with someone around my height, considering just how tall Emily and Oscar are. Good God, who fucking cares? Marcus was always a lot taller than me, too. Bet that now. Oh boy, I'm playing as a short person. What a terrible fucking thing. Oh boy, interesting. Matthew. That's an interesting reading choice right there. I need to read some Sartre myself, but Dude, never grow. Stick at the same height I was in middle school. Oof. Oh, you poor person. Imagine being short. What a terrible fate. You better sleep this time, dude. No nightmares. Oh my fucking god. At least he's actually being concerned. Now tonight, passed out as soon as I got home. Feeling a lot better today. Some of grandmother ears flushing as I looks away. Back our laughter. One saving grace for my pride is that Oscar looks oblivious. His ears aren't as sensitive as the canines. Just a bit hungry. Didn't eat last night. Only some toast before going to my lit class. What was in your lit class? Tell me. What were you? Come on. Literature was a lot easier now that I would understand the reading better. Lucas really set my butt with that one. Oh my god, you don't need someone to help you understand it. Maybe it's just a skill issue, mate. Jesus. You're in the right place. Blah, 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 blah. I don't care. I really don't care anything this dude has to say. Never really eaten much seafood. The smell just scares me off, even though it looks delicious. Surimi? Okay, it was some kind of Japanese shit. I won't even cook it. What the fuck? That's... Okay, so she wants to talk to me. Well, okay. Oscar doesn't appear surprised at all with Willie's suggestion, and it makes me wonder if they chat about this before I arrive. Wouldn't put it past her to plan this. Oh boy. At least he's going away. Out of the two of them, he's the least tolerable. So, yeah. Neato. I need to read. That's my white action, but I'm gonna forget. Okay, cool. And I just don't know. Ugh. I cannot believe you used the words frat and bro in the same sentence. That all makes me hate this dude even more. It gives him a glare that reminds me of the time Mother caught me skipping school that one time. One time? Oh, you got a goody two-shoes over here. I see. Never even thought of doing it again after that. Just the memory of that sense of shit for is fine. Okay, I'll go far in the bar, don't stress me. Okay, I didn't get his voice right. Great. Send your text when we're done. This feels a little bit intimidating. You said that aloud. You fucking... That causes a little laugh and Oscar's expression to turn into a mysterious grin before walking off, neither of which is anything to help me feel less worried about what's going to happen. They better not be grilling him about Lucas, because I will literally kill people. Sorry, I just want to make sure you're alright and hear about what I missed yesterday. Doing a lot better. Now I'm at Lucas' library and help me with all the glasses. Actually, really good too. Why the fuck does this bitch need to know anything? Is she some kind of gossip machine? In which case, I hate her. Almost like I'm talking to my mother, trying to avoid saying the wrong word and getting scolded. Seems silly, but the way the only give it a smile. Okay. Barely saw myself her jump when she rests her free hand. Okay, that's... Don't do that. Don't do that, you fucking asshole. Don't touch people out of nowhere. Glad you're doing a lot better. You look like you're having a panic attack or something. It's pretty terrifying to see somebody freak out like that. Really? Of course. Great, now you're... Yeah, this is exactly what a fucking sentence like this does to someone. Pretty terrifying. Ah, yes, because... So, I mean, yeah, exactly. That's what that does to someone like this dude, and me as well. Jeez. No, stop. You did nothing wrong, but can you tell me what happened? I just had a pretty messed up dream, that's all. What was it about? You have to be scared. I won't judge you. Oh, my matter of hesitation, I close it again. I can easily find an excuse if I want to, but that does a service, so I lose you. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, so you're telling Lily and not Lucas, the person you saw in said dream? That totally makes sense, you absolute idiot. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you making me... blah, 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 blah. Oh boy, Shakespeare and Sard at the same time. Matt, you need to chill. Chill the fuck out, mate. Jeez. Oh, are you kidding? Are you fucking joking? We're just skipping over his explanation of the events. I'm sorry, it would be really interesting to hear him explain in his own words what the dream meant, but no, let's just skip over that because the audience has seen it before. You obviously don't need to hear the effect it had on him. Yeah, I'm just glad it was a dream. Oh my god, stop messaging me. And that must have really messed me up that night. Something about reading about the average day estimate who killed 3 people just made me feel sick. I should read that book. I didn't think it would have that much of an effect on you. If you want, we can switch topics or project. I know everyone else wouldn't mind. No, it's fine. I'll just make sure to stay up all night reading it again. Thinking the lack of sleep didn't help. And my general reassurance. It's cold. Don't fucking... Don't touch people, for fuck's sake. Jesus. And towards her face, I can't help but wonder if I have been straight. Oh my god, really? Ugh. Maybe it was because they look like they're actually talking, even if everything Lucas says is followed by a roll of his eyes. And what I can only assume is a snide remark. Maybe that's the idea, just annoy the fox to the point where he gets used to it. Well, he's already here if you're wondering. Lily whispers that across the table, despite there being no chance that anyone would hear us. But if she's right, I can't see Lee anywhere, not even outside with the other two. Really, where is he? Out back, apparently. He was already here when we arrived, but texted us he wanted some alone time. Sir John was going to come out to see him, but he was pretty firm in telling him no. Yep, that's what you do with... I do not like people like Oscar. They're terrible. And everyone's here then. Looks like... Eventually Oscar in the back of the side and collapses at the bar, looking rather pleased with himself, but Lucas stays behind, staring up at something we can't see. There is something different to him than normal. this isn't like when he's anxious or annoyed. It's like he's distracted by something he's seen. I'm not sure if there's something wrong or if he's just waiting for something. Despite the people walking around him, he looks separated from the rest of the world, isolated as he stares into the deep infinity of whatever he's gazing at. I can't tell from here, but he feels distant. You know, sometimes, like me, people just stare off into space. There's no reason for it, they just start zoning out. That's all that happened. Despite the people walking around. I read that, Jesus. What do you think he's looking at? Maybe something in the sky or in the roof? It's hard to tell. Might just be stalling. Doesn't seem the most fond of crowds. Makes sense. Neither am I. that's a sentence that I would say, because I hate crowds. God, get off the screen. He yells at that a warm and soothing sound. Blah, 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 blah. Things are chaotic. You don't want to. Okay, Jesus. Ugh. No. Fuck off, bitch. Without him, something as common as William must have an absolutely terrifying father. I think you doubt to prove you use him in the same room as the boy. Get the feeling he won't worry. That caused me to apologize for any confusion, that realization of what she's implying, and I can... What? What are you... What? Is she... Oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Now if it was Lee, Lucas, or especially Oscar, I don't think he let me. I didn't think I stood out that much. Not a bad thing, just don't... Okay, jumping straight to that, are we? Jesus. Recoil in disgust. Yeah. Hence that just feels wrong. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah. Ugh, so gross. Okay, bitch. Can we please okay, that's a sentence. Fine, but what I said, you know what? I know it can be a bit hard to ask. Oh my god, Jesus. Why would I not be able to ask them? Smile curls up, that mischievous edge to it gives me an uneasy feeling. Takes a lot of willpower to break eye contact and focus on something else. Well, you know, they all are a catch, but you want to make a good impression. That definitely was unexpected. Leaning back against the chair, looking aside with a curious smile covering her face by its inquisitive nature, she's still gentle. There's a noticeable hesitance to her, a feeling that she's letting me choose how far I want this conversation to go. Distinctly remind my mother sitting outside some afternoon talking like honestly with Marcus. Not wanting to feel melancholic, I pushed the memory away, forcing myself not to dwell and burn myself back to a sour glance. Boy, phone again, I can see Lucas is still standing there, staring up at something. He's dressed up too formal for the situation, which isn't too abnormal for him, but he looks a little messier than usual, like he did in a rush. But looking closer, I can see he's nervous from the little twitches of his tail to the rapid darting of his eyes from Lucas. Sitting at the bar, the two of us at the table. Oh, okay. He's trying to keep himself steady and makes me want to walk over there and hug him, letting him know he doesn't need to work himself up. He seemed to respond really well to it last night. That was in the privacy of an apartment building hallway with no one else around. Meet each other's eyes and his widen for just a moment. Can you imagine a little gasp that peeps out of his mouth, barely audible and involuntary? We hold our gaze and he takes a deep breath, steadying himself. Stands up straighter after that and gives himself a look over. Look of annoyance and borderline disgust appearing when he notices all the mistakes in his outfit. In hesitation, he begins to clean himself up. It looks like he's following a routine. He moves his hands from his shirt to his head for with machine-like rigidness, as if unable to make mistakes due to his programming. Haha, that's not a nice thing to say, buddy. That's not a nice thing to say. Not nice at all. Soon enough, his sure flatness hurts me down. Its eyes adjusted properly. Looks like a totally different person now. There's a significant increase in his mood as well. He doesn't radiate an uncomfortable aura anymore. Wow, you looked at him for like 5 seconds or something, and he's already not uncomfortable. Interesting. In my gaze again, he gives a little shy smile, so make I might have missed if it wasn't for his ears splaying out. Can't catch many details in this distance, but the way I can see the insides of his... That's adorable. He's really fond of you, isn't he? You think so? Skepticism in her face as she stares at me now makes me like I'm under interrogation. Maybe you are. Just a thought. Not wanting to feel the scrutiny any longer, I bring my attention back to Lucas. The sound of her snort and bring my own spark of fiery embarrassment. Lucas is back to looking up at whatever he was staring at before. Jesus, get your fucking ass up and walk over to him already. Jeez, what are you doing? So much stalling for no reason. Good lord. Oh boy, I wonder what's going on. Should I go talk to him? If he's still there when we're done, I think that's a good idea. So as I was saying... Fuck you! Fuck you, bitch. Holy hell. She's insane. Oh my god, are you joking? Yeah, she's this type of person. Great, yeah. Don't like her. Any fucking goodwill for her is gone now. Brings my attention crashing back towards Lily like she's a freight train, and I'm just a small little fruit cart stuck on the tracks. She's still watching Lucas, but I somehow feel she's looking at me from every direction at once. No, she's not being malicious, just over eagerly approaching. Girl, okay, that's... I would talk to someone about. Sure, Jesus Christ. That's making serious odds of trying to calm me down. Do some hidden psychic powers. Regardless, it works. I can. Alright, Jesus Christ. So much fucking garbage. Right, yeah, just chatting. So, not sure yet. I don't think it's all done for anything. I only just met them. But I'm just saying, what else I'm satisfied. I could probably toss her more bone with myself or something. Yeah, on her. What about you? Are you into them? That's a sentence. Right, that's a stupid question. I'm an idiot. No, you're not. Shut up. I'm sure you know the itching sensation crawling on my neck. I mean, time I can't take this, but not die from embarrassment. You know at all. It must be a catch, right? I think I'm a catch, but no one right now. Like I'm his friends, but I don't think they want to date him. I want something more normal. Or normal. I don't think they're weird. I broke for glancing over at the boys again. It's only from over she brings attention back to me. Picking my gaze over the boys, I can see Oscar's now standing up. Fuck this dude. I hate him. It's a good thing Lee isn't here because I can imagine him scolding Oscar for acting like this. Maybe he should be here. Maybe he should be in here to fucking get that asshole in check. Jesus. We can let this happen all for long at least. What? That's all I had to talk about. Now we just gotta wait for everyone to get out ready. Might end up having to get you to go to Lucas if Lee's back before him. Why me? He's more comfortable around you than the rest of us. But I think he prefers you. Makes sense. He mentions he feels more comfortable around me compared to the others. Don't really know why I'm different, but if I can help him, there's no reason not to. You're so fucking dense. Check on Lucas. That sounds a good idea. Don't know what he's doing, but I'll probably like you around. Now get out of here. Words are pushing now. She reaches over the table and begins to shove me out of the booth. She's got an absolutely menacing smile. Yeah, she's a terrible person. We get it. I don't like her. And it's obvious she's about something more than just talking to happen. Good fucking lord. Okay, just want to check on him. Sure, he's cute, but more important, he's struggling with social ways she could use some help. No ulterior motive here. Uh-huh. Sure, buddy. Outside the restaurant, Lucas still doesn't move. He's just staring up at the sign of the entryway like there's something wrong with it, and he's trying to figure out what's so out of place. He's also standing directly in the middle of the footpath, forcing a few passerby to awkwardly walk around him to get the other way, but Lucas doesn't shift or acknowledge them at all, either not caring or not noticing at all. Either is possible knowing him. What's wrong? That jolts him out of whatever stupor he's fallen into, and the surprise in his face as he looks down at me makes him look like he's completely unaware of where he is. The remnants of a distant gaze still linger in his eye. Yep, I told you, he zoned out. What? What's wrong? You're just staring up at the sign. Oh, wait, it's nothing. Bar or not, just haven't been to a restaurant in a long time. Really sounds like he's disappointed, like what I asked him was the most inconsequential thing I could have uttered in that moment. Having regained his posture, he crosses his arms, continues to look up at the sign. His ears looking towards me are the only indication that he's still paying attention to me. Does your family not take you to restaurants often? Not really. Usually when I was young, I haven't been to one in a long time. At least 5 years. Why did you stop? Eyebrows furrowed that. Instead of answering my question, he walks over towards the window, staring at the patrons inside. Oscar and Lily are seen together again, shouting with only laughter breaking up the back and forth. Looks like Lee still hasn't come back inside yet. I've never been good people, and after my parents sent me out of school, we stopped going out as much. Did you miss it? No, really, I always prefer being in my honors with my family. People are noisy and overwhelming. Books are simple. I would literally say, okay, yeah, this is basically, congratulations, game. Congratulations, I guess. You've basically taken words out of my fucking brain into it. Jesus. What's fucking going on? Chill the fuck out, mate. Chill the fuck out. Oh boy. Blah, blah, blah. There's a butt of guilt in my chest for dragging him along with all our group events. I didn't realize Lucas didn't like being out in public this much. Are you sure you didn't? If you don't want to be here, you don't have to. I could even take you home. I don't mind. My intentions truly are to give Lucas an out if he wants it, but there's a little nagging voice in the back of my head that's whispering little cruel nothings in my ear. An excuse to get away from the beach wouldn't be so bad. Okay, so you also don't like the beach. I like that about you. Lucas simply lets it aside and just stares through the window, focusing exclusively on the table where our friends are sitting. There's a mixture of melancholy to his eyes, a mixture of yearning and uncertainty. No, I want to stay. I'm enjoying this. They're annoying and obnoxious, but I haven't had friends like this before. No friend like you, I suppose. Smiles as he says that last part. His inner ear turns a darker shade of red. Doesn't turn to face me, but I catch his eyes darting in my direction before looking away again like he's a kid who got caught stealing candy from the pantry. Like me? Yeah, I mean, you know, someone who likes me despite everything I do, and you're really nice. I don't feel anxious around you. It's a good feeling. Oh, Jesus, wow. Wow. That's a confession. There's something so sweet to the way he says that. It's fondness, but it's not just for me. There's a warmth towards the window, too. It's stilted, but they're all the same. They're your friends, too. They're good people. I know they are. I just need some time. It's difficult getting close to people. I was messing up everything and hurting people. Okay, hello undiagnosed issues. We need to get you to a therapist, Lucas. Jesus Christ. You mentioned you were homeschooled, but you did it. Did you have any friends before then? Pauses at that, and his eyes brows furrow, his eyes scanning the area again below him, like he's reading a book. It's clear he's lost in his head again. Likely some memories that I'm not privy to. Not really. Not real friends, at least. I had one, but that didn't last long. Did something happen? Then his face changes, morphing briefly to a look of agony. Like someone just stabbed him or pulled in his tail. It hurts just to see. He moved away. Finality to his words is heartbreak and doesn't feel like he's truly over what happened. It makes sense though, if he's never really had many friends, losing the one he had must have been hard on him. Well, he got us now and we won't leave you. Sip, you will. Oscar finishes his bachelor's this year and I finish mine next year. I'll move back to my parents and it'll be like this never happened. Doesn't mean we have to stop being friends. We can keep in contact. Plus, there's always post-grad. Who knows what we'll be doing by then? But I'm sure whatever's gonna say, bumping my shoulder against his own, trying to channel my inner Oscar. If he can be so optimistic and bubbly, then I can be the same for Lucas. God, you absolute dork. Just focus on the now. We got 2 years before then. There's a fire to his eyes that wants to deny everything. To fight against what I'm saying, but no protests come out. Instead, he just nods and leans back against me. I'll try. What's the point of wanting to change if I just let things stay the same? There are those words again that he wants to change. I understand wanting to be a better person, but there's almost a bitter way. There's almost a bitter way he talks about himself. I like how you are. I won't stop you, but I just wanted you to know that. Doesn't give a reply, but I know he heard it by the way his ears twitched and flickered in my direction. Hope he heeds my words, but I'll help him no matter what. Jesus Christ, dude. Just kiss already. Just fucking, just... Don't be so harsh on yourself. Leah's outside too, after all, or you're probably have been blocking the footpath, and I bet Lily and Oscar want to talk to you. It's on her defeated side, but doesn't sound as convincing as before. I think there's a little part of himself that's looking forward to joining the group again. Must have an absolutely goofy smile on my face because he rolls his eyes after he sneaks a glance in my direction, nudging me towards the door as he walks off ahead. But he only takes a couple steps before looking back towards me. His doe eyes are pleading for me to come with him so he doesn't have to face the beast alone, and it's too cute for me to resist joining him. Oh boy. 2 of them. 2 sitting at the table are watching us the moment we walk through the door. They're muttering something to each other, something I'm certain Lucas hears. If there's one thing I have heard about him, it's that his hearing is impeccable. Lily says something that causes both of them to cackle like evil witches. And if the way Lucas's ears turned a deeper shade of red is any indication, it was definitely about us. Yes, cackling like witches in a restaurant with other people. Do these people have no fucking sense of, like, other people? Attempt to ignore them, Lucas looks around the rest of the restaurant, his eyes jump from table to table. Seeing that most of them are packed with people, his next breath is shaky and takes a step back, almost walking into me. I want to reach out and comfort him, but that might make everything worse if people start staring at us. He already looks overwhelmed, and I can't imagine what it'll be like for him if he was becoming the center of attention. Instead, I offer just creeping closer to the fox and bumping him gently. Playful eyes let him know that I'm still here. If I can't comfort him, I'll at the very least believe in my presence. Jeez. 34 minutes. Literally only 3 minutes. Are you kidding? eyes perked up in a lower like he'd been expecting a threat, but as soon as he sees me, he allows himself to breathe again with a quiet gasp. He closes his eyes and takes a deep breath, already looking less jittery than just moments before. Sorry, there are a lot more people than I was expecting. It's okay, it's surprising it has this much business and all, and people must really like this place. Can't imagine how packed it would be in summer. And talk with everyone else so we can move outside if you want. Away from everyone, they won't mind. It's fine, please, I don't want to be a hassle, I just want to be a normal date with my friends. Voice is soft, barely above a whisper, but it contains that fire in them that I've come to associate with Lucas. He's like a firecracker hiding himself inside a chunk of... And I like that. That's a nice sentence. With his composure regained, he continues onto the table. Plays a lot faster than before. I guess he's not completely over it, but he slides into the booth next to it with a little fanfare. Following suit, I go into slang and next after it. I'm stopped when I reach over and nudging me towards the other side. I'd much rather we sit here on that side anyway. This works well for me, but do you think I could sit on the end and not be in between two people? Oh, sure. We shuffle around for a second before we all set our seats. The scrambling for an awkward silence between all of us. At least I think it's awkward. Except both Lucas and Oscar, who don't seem to notice, and Lily looks like she's enjoying herself. What were you talking about? Oh my god, you fucking snoop. I hate people like you so much. I don't go to restaurants often. I was just reminiscing about times when we used to go out more. Then we decided to drag you out more, right? What's the point of college you could have? Shut the fuck up, cunt. Maybe choke on battery acid and die. Yeah, I've never really gone out with my friends other than my roommate, but I do think I've been enjoying myself despite how obnoxious you can be. Wish you could have picked somewhere less crowded. So look of surprise on all our faces at that. I think he admitted to enjoying himself this easily, but it didn't look that difficult for him at all. Even Oscar's pleasantly surprised if the way his smile widened, his eyebrows raised indication. I hate you. Jesus. Oh my god, fuck off. Gives the thighs a playful smack at which he recalls in horror and looks over being absolute shock. Thankfully, with both Lily and Oscar laughing, he gets to him and it's nothing bad and doesn't stop him from pouting. Hey, that's not fun of me. Hey, what if I clawed your arm? You wouldn't be laughing then. Try if you want. I only saw, oh my god. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Playing closer, I'm whispering in his ears, trying to keep this little exchange between the two of us. This might sound a little harsh out of context. See, I told you I'll make up for all these missing years, even for all together for this one. We're all friends here. I don't think he entirely believes it yet. We'll just have to show him that we're really going to be there for him. Everything okay? It's not a familiar deep voice. Everyone stops and looks towards Lee, who's standing next to Oscar's side of the booth. There's only a moment to stare before everything changes and all hell breaks loose. Oh my god. What the hell? Oh, it's cute. Fucking, he's so... so fucking cute. Lee's standing there, except he's wearing something completely different now. Instead of his usual leather jacket and red shirt, he's wearing something much more eye-catching and something I've never in a million years expected to see him in. Wearing a pink hoodie but surrounding all the way down to his torso, it stops just under his chest, allowing his stomach to be easily visible as well. It's literally there. You don't have to explain it. Not able to the details of them this far away, and I'm a little too stunned to really comprehend what I'm looking at. Such a stark difference to how I manage Lee in my head. Catches my eye when he sees how bewildered I am. He just lets aside for giving us the barest of explanations. My sister made me wear this. Single action lights the fuse and it sets off the rest of our group. Oscar all but jumps out of his seat, looking between the rest of us and leaves it screaming, "Look at this." Oh my god, I hate you. It's just something used to wear in high school. Oh my god. Pat goes his eyes towards me and nudges Lucas's shoulder. Amusingly, the fox looks even more surprised by that than what Lee's wearing. Keep this up. This will be the last time you'll see me in this. Good reaction. God, he's amazing. Everyone just doesn't fucking like Oscar, apparently. Come on, oh my god. Oh boy. I mean, she's not wrong, but... Let's help. I don't think he's annoyed. I just don't think he was expecting this kind of attention. If acknowledging that he looks over at me, trying to get him a reaction, but all I'm able to give him is a nod. I may not maintain eye contact. I know if I think too hard about what he's wearing, I'm gonna light myself like a candle, and that's in the best case scenario. Despite looking completely different from what he usually wears, it fits him in a way. It still feels like something he'd wear. There's something rebellious about someone as gruff as him wearing something like this. The feeling he's gotten a lot of attention because of this, before, and that's probably part of the reason. Feels like Lee's trying to say something with it. Most likely, I don't give a shit what you think. Man after my own heart, Jesus. Answer like they're honestly amusing to him because he lets out a snort and raises an eyebrow at me. I don't know what the big deal is. It's just a hoodie. Roommate wears stuff like this all the time. Just like that, the attention switches from Lee to the fox. Mostly Oscar, who leans in as he leans in closer, much to Lucas's dismay. You meet him sometime. I think we get along great. Yeah, I bet the two of you would. You're both very loud and have no sense of bounds. Oh, I love it. I love the shade. Fuck you, Oscar. So, is that a yes? That's not his voice, Jesus. Lucas stares and sighs and stares up at the auto, looking defeated, and just nods, not even bothering to resist Oscar's blind. Content with that answer, Oscar goes back to his seat and returns to admiring Lee. Perv. To his credit, Lee doesn't bother reacting to his spine at all. Not sure if it's because he just expected this or if he's used to it. Either way, it doesn't look like the attention bothers him too much. No, as excited as these new outfit is, we should probably settle down before we annoy the staff. Yeah, exactly. Sound of that, Oscar tears out away from the possum and looks toward the sour table pudding. On an innocent face, it looks too cheesy to be remotely believable. Oh my god. You're the one making a scene. We just want a quiet lunch. I don't think you know what quiet means. Devilish grin spreads across the otter's face with such ominousness that it makes my skin crawl. His eyes dart between Lucas and me before he leans back against the cushioned seat. Looks like an evil mastermind with that way. His eyes are twinkling mischief. Lucas and I, that should be that way the sentence is, whatever. Jesus Christ. Expect Lucas to get some kind of retort or insult, but he just looks away at it as if Oscar doesn't say anything at all. Can't see any of his features, but I can almost feel the heat coming off of him. Enough, both of you. I'm sitting next to Oscar. Alright, sorry, that was a little too much too fun to watch. I got distracted here, let me sort it out. After what feels like an hour of shuffling about, which in actuality is only a few minutes, but Oscar's desire to peek at every angle of Lee makes it feel like an eternity, we manage to see ourselves inside the booth. Oh boy, cool. Brrr. On one side sits Oscar and Lee, the two largest guys in the group, though Oscar, Dorsey, and Lee in sheer size. By not getting along, Lee approves of the idea. He's probably happy that Oscar isn't sitting with Lucas or myself. There's no complaints in the outer at all. There's too much for him to enjoy regardless where he sits. Lucas looks relieved not have to sit next to him, and there's a part of me that feels bad for Oscar. He's constantly being put on trial, and I'm most certain he doesn't mean any harm. Sadly, it wasn't changed when we first got into our seats. Lily is still next to the wall, and Lucas is sitting at the open end of the booth. And shuffling off part to worry about it, but Amy's trying to focus on other things, such as Lucas not so subtly watching Lee sliding into the booth. Looks like Oscar was right about that after all. Got me watching, immediately sat up straight, trying to adjust his already neat and tidy outfit. Thankfully, doesn't reach up and rip at his head again. Now we all got settled in. Lucas' ears were burning pink. Jesus Christ. I like what sounds like go blah 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 blah. So much is happening, Jesus. It's like what sounds within our grimoire. I can consider breaking it. Lily clears her throat. Attention turns to her, and she flashes a soft smile on her face. Isn't a single sign of discomfort or nervousness in her expression. Sure, Carmen. Sorry for asking such short notice. I thought it'd be good to get together again, check on walls, and work on our project some more. Not even a second after she finishes speaking, all eyes shift towards me, concerning curiosity mixing together in one's eyes. Like, Lily, I don't have the composure to handle half a dozen people staring at me, so I stare toward the table open that it will magically make this conversation be over. Everyone's waiting for an answer, though, and it's unfair to keep them worrying. Yeah, I'm doing fine. It was just a bad dream that let me a bit shook up. I'm feeling a lot better after a good night. Jesus Christ. My fucking brain's dying, guys. Jesus. It's almost 10. Christ, when is this thing gonna be over? Because I'm ending the video there. Knowing that there might still be doubt, I look up towards the group and give them as authentic a smile as I can. Oh boy. What's going on? I'm just trembling slightly. Not from any problems, mind you, just the attention's causing a swell of anxiety in my chest. Oh, most of the occupants relax, only least can stare at me, his green eyes still bursting with worry, but isn't pressing any further. Times like this, it's a blessing that he's so much more quiet than the rest of our group. Bow to your give us a... Oh my god. Lucas's features all perk up at the same time, his ears and eyebrows shooting upwards, and his posture tightens. We just hugged. I don't think that counts as cuddling. Disappointed silence and the level of my mouth agape as I stared towards the fox. Lucas's expression turning into one to pondering, as if he isn't sure about whether it actually counted as cuddling. Even Lee's eyes have widened. He looks completely taken aback by the answer, looking at me with surprise and approval. Wait, what's he even approving of? There's that last nod I needed to realize that I have to interfere, else we look at the wrong idea. Not like that. We just gave a hug in the hallway after I spent time with him and his roommate. Completely ignoring me, Oscar's focus is solely on Lucas, and his smile gains a mischievous edge to it. Psst, fucking good. Good. Hurt him. Oscar jumps in his head and pushes himself away from Lee. His expression of exaggerated power as I can only see him as his thigh. His expression is completely neutral. The firm stoicism on his face is scary. That's kind of the point. It's the reason one of us took care of Wallace, after all. Lucas's judgmental tone is jarring compared to Oscar's sultry one. The fox did say over it much more confused, and even Oscar looked surprised before even wider grin crosses his face. My fucking god, die! I hate you! Ellie's chuckle is quiet, and I can barely hear it as she levels it with her hand. Lee, on the other hand, looked ready to interrupt and put a stop towards his going before he's cut off by Lucas. Obviously, we all wanted to. We could have done it all together if we could. We would have done it all together if we could. Easily, and her giggle transformed into a full-blown laugh. Oscar really joins her as Lee's entire body sags, unclear if he's disappointed or just exhausted. I can feel myself looking towards the wall. What does that mean? Looking toward the wall, my ears burn. It's at times like this that really make me grow my fur, and he flushed anything through blah blah blah. The confused expression on Lucas's face shows it as being completely left in the dark. Okay, yeah, I'm confused myself as well. I don't get what's so funny. I'm gonna have to explain it. A glare from Lee makes me stop in my tracks, like I don't want to give off the satisfaction of corrupting Lucas's innocence. Instead, I just place. Oh, they were making a sex joke. Okay, neat. I suppose I don't know. I don't care. I'm just really out of it, okay? My brain hurts. Instead, I just placed down his arm, rubbing it slowly in a reassuring way, looking towards me. Confusion is still evident in his expression. His ears droop and press against his... I never read that. Don't worry about it, he's just teasing you. Oh. I just think you would smile at that. The response is barely recognizable when each word comes up between a laugh, and regardless of his sincerity, it's hard to take seriously with a grin on his face and tears in his eyes. Just ignore him. Lily, do you have anything you want to talk about? I think you know the tone of his words. Lily's pressing his lips together as if holding back a smile of his own. Looks like Oscar's antics even had an effect on Lee. Not that the word ever admitted to give him satisfaction. He'd never let him live it down. Looking back towards Lucas, his expression has changed from downtrodden to bashful. There is so much fucking filler in this, like Jesus Christ. Get to the point already. Expression has changed from downtrodden to bashful. His inner ears become a deeper shade of pink, and he's playing with them as he looks down toward the table. My attention is drawn to a feminine figure approaching our table, coming right up to the edge of a booth, but with a demeanor so bubbly, I wouldn't have guessed she was working as a waiter. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh hey. She leans away from me with a face that resembles her puppy. Lee doesn't look like he's buying it at all. I squint with suspicion. Doesn't look angry or annoyed though, merely scolding like a parent would to their misbehaving child. It's lunchtime, no alcohol. Water for me. Oh, kind of Pacific lemonade. I saw you guys did them earlier and it looks super cute. Actually, bring me two of them. They won't last very long. Using your tone is a great way to diffuse the awkward tension. I can feel Lucas relax next to me. Didn't realize how tightly he's been wound up. Actually, now that I think about it, I did sit up straighter as soon as she came up to our table. It's as if she's building his walls to block out any strangers like you when you met him in class. I want to leave as much as I can. I raise my shoulder against him. Easy for me to lean on my touch, and it's shocking just how fast he relaxes against me. That ardent expression melts away as quick as it came, and he even manages to bring a smile to his face with his usual scowl. Fits him well. It's nice to see him with a smile every now and then. Thanks. Quiet whisper that I'm sure no one besides Leah and myself can hear. There's a happy hum coming in from next to me. I don't even need to look toward or know that Lily's eavesdropping on us. I hate Lily so much. Good grief. You don't snoop on people, okay? Christ. Don't worry. Order what you like. She won't bite. No, she won't. I'm not a child. His word, his body screams uncertainty, and he looks toward the waitress, whose smile has grown tighter than it had when she first arrived. She likely didn't expect ordering drinks to take this long. A root beer thought you do those, right? I saw some kids drinking some earlier. There's a firmness in Lucas's eyes, an unflinching glare that almost feels like a challenge. Like he's daring her to say something. I know it's not how Lucas really feels, it's just how he comes across, so very hostile. The lights are the same as the ones I saw when I first met him. Doesn't look at me like that anymore, there's something else in them now, something softer. Oh boy. Oh boy. I still see those eyes, and he's talking to others, but never to me. I wonder why that is. He isn't as abrasive with them as before, though. Hopefully that's a good sign. She raises an eyebrow at that, but only smiles and writes it down. With each tap of pen on paper, I can feel Lucas's muscles relaxing. And I'll have a kiss. Are you me? No, Lucas is way more like me. But yeah, I'd literally say that too. And as soon as she finishes writing it down, she gives me a big smile. That someone took the initiative to speed this up, but I did it, just so she'll leave sooner. I think her presence is stressing Lucas out. With that, she moves away from her table with a skip in her step that I can only assume comes from being able to finally escape her table. The feeling's mutual, even if she wasn't a bad person. With her gone, I lean over to the They're gone, I lean over against Lucas, whisper in his ear, quiet enough that I'm sure only Lily can pick up on it. Doing okay? You looked a bit out of it there. I just get scared when I talk to someone I don't know. I have problems with people. That's me! Not bothering to keep his voice down, Lucas's replies loud enough for the rest of the table to hear with ease. Lee replies before I can. His voice is filled with the warmth that can only come from someone who takes care of a sibling. It's okay to be scared of people. I know a lot of people who have trouble talking to people. She regrets that with an upbeat tone, trying to brighten the mood even if the content doesn't match the tone of his voice. Lucas looks at her with a confused expression like he didn't understand what I was taught in the way they are. About to say something before shaking his head, and a neutral expression returns. Aloof and cold. Refrains mute. Just like that, all the attention shifts towards Oscar, the other looking more than happy to take all of it. I can't speak since he caused a problem, but looks ecstatic at that. Leaning forward across the table with bright eyes, she looks so excited to make as many friends as she can, like she can't have enough. I don't get people like that. I hate them. I don't hate them, but they just weird me out. We're so different in that regard. This group are only friends, and we've only been together a few days. Just warm with my right, and I barely have time to have her look as pressed up against my shoulder, enveloping me in his warmth. There's no hesitation in his action, no worry that anyone else might see. Straight up hug. Fuck yeah. Oh my god. Duh. Chair wraps around my waist and he leans against me. He's still facing over toward Oscar, who's still chatting early about his friend, but he's looking toward me out of the corner of his eye. Sultan's at the door begins to talk to me, now I'm bothering to whisper to hide it. Not very good with telling what other people are feeling, but you look upset, I think. Despite his lack of tact, his voice is filled with sincerity. Makes me acutely aware of just how little space is between us. Others give no reaction to what Lucas just said. But I know they all heard. They're just giving us the space we need. It's like they all have a shared understanding on something. I can't feel left out in some shared secret agreement. Lucas doesn't care. I don't even think he knows the others or even remembers their presence. His focus is squarely on me, like he can't even register or anything else. So please, don't feel sad. I don't know how I can make you feel better, but whenever I felt Sam always leaning against her always works. Hope this helps. My god, you're so fucking cute. Oh, the video's an hour long now. It's an hour long now. I'm so happy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Mother's laughing. What's going on? Moan to silence. Even Lily and Oscar stopped talking. They are still looking at each other. Lee looking away, but it's clear they all understand what's being said. But Lucas only looks at me with those burning auburn eyes, that fiery determination that makes his face look irresistibly handsome. I'm okay. It's true, I am okay, or at least I'm doing better. With friends and they care about me. Sure, they're new and I've known them a couple of days, but they're the closest friends that I've had for a long time. So I think we should carry on looking what happened to Elena. Lily's voice pierced through everything, but it's kind and gentle, like it doesn't want to disturb this peace between us, this serenity, but has to. I'll look towards her, surprised, etched into each other's faces, probably my own as well. I have to completely twist myself to look at her. She only smiles back at us in return, unaffected by the confusion emanating from us. Then I wanted to contact her professor with the labs. He said that we can provide weekly reports, then we leave our Thursday class early if something happens to one of us if things get too hard. Looking towards Lucas with a glance, her eyes softer than I've ever seen someone's eyes being. Reminds me of a new mother doting on her newborn baby. But under the table, she gives my leg a little squeeze, not suggested by any means as comforting as if the words are meant for me too. This moment I can't help but see Marcus in her. They're different, and he never showed me this level of affection, but I know he cared for me more than he did about anyone else. Seeing him in her, it's bittersweet. So I was just saying, let's do some research on it today. There's everyone behind me, and then with a hand of shame, Lucas places his head on my shoulder. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. The warmth is a sudden shock. Oh boy. But I can't let myself get too startled. That will scare Lucas off. Oscar is waggling as that fuck off. Catch the can, but I can still feel the heat in my face and ears worsening. Whenever I feel Lucas's fur brushing against the skin of my neck. Go to the library, I know my way around there pretty well. Can't see his expression, but the excitement in his voice is so thoroughly charged up that I can't help but imagine his eyes wide and a little smile on his face, even if such a smile doesn't fit what I've seen of him. Lily only giggles in response, incredibly amused about something, and I really hope it's how cute Lucas is being and not the amount I must be blushing. Lucas, that's the idea. We'll go to the library and do some research together. Will we find anything? What do you mean? This was a murder, not an historic event. We don't find any books on it. Yeah, but there's computers and library for students to access in there. It seemed like the smartest place to do it. I don't think any of us has space at our place for all of us to crowd in. No, I don't. Even without a room, the room is still significantly smaller than any other place I've stayed before this. And you know, I have computers in it. Yeah, because you're a fucking moron. I hate you. Mom drops off of his face. He looks over, asked with a confused expression. The rest of the following suit. Aren't you a senior? That doesn't surprise me. You don't exactly strike me as the kind of guy that doesn't read a book that's not... The kind of guy that reads a book that's not porn. I hate you. I want to strangle you with my fingernails and teeth, you cocksucking weasel. There's a bristle of fur against my neck as Lucas tenses up. Something about that exchange must have made him comfortable because he shifts away from me. Oscar, I've been curious, but what is your major? Counting, I'm due. Stuns Ultio back into silence with the attention now and Oscar will force forward and see everyone once more. Lee looks the most surprised, his stoic mask nowhere to be seen as his eyes are wider than I thought possible. Everyone looks absolutely dumbfounded. How did someone as dumb as you get offered a scholarship? They're going into law, no less. Accounting isn't exactly a walk in the park either. There's still a serious curriculum. Not even remotely on the same level as law, but you can't just sleep your way through that. I'm surprised after his declaration, but Lee's still completely stunned into silence. The news, but no one's asking the most important question. Why did you pick accounting instead of something less demanding? And I got myself what I'm saying, anything specific and potentially pissing someone off. No need to insult someone's possible major. Jesus Christ, this kind of person makes me lose faith in humanity, man. Jesus. There's something off with the way Oscar's talking about this. I'm not sure what exactly it is. I think he's telling the truth, but I also feel like I'm being lied to at the same time. That's really interesting. The whole thing is so strange. I feel so stunned that I don't even know the way to determine other drinks until she asks for all orders. Fascinating. I hadn't even had the chance to look at the menu, but thankfully Oscar makes recommendations. Remember to go back to this topic as quickly as possible. What about you, Lucas? I don't think you're a freshman. I haven't decided yet. Months is fast, unnaturally so even from the usually high-strung Lucas. It feels rehearsed. Causes to frown, doesn't fit. It doesn't fit on her face at all. It causes me to look away and able to handle such an expression from her. Looking over towards Lee, I catch him staring down the table, but he lifts his head at the sound of Lucas's reply. Seems like I'm not the only one who caught how unnatural that sounded. Oh boy. What year are you? Junior. Somebody said must be important. Both Oscar and Lee's expressions grow curious. The latter is more confused than the former's. I thought you would decide your major than your sophomore year. Not a question, but a fact for someone who's looked into this before. Not talked over and decided to wait till the end of the semester before choosing my major. And that's the end of that. Lucas leaves no way to continue that conversation. There's something about it that makes him uncomfortable and no one wants to push. Well, he might still look fine. Everyone else, Lucas's entire body is dense. Even if I couldn't feel the way his leg clenched up when Lily asked him the question, I think I could have figured out just by how he looks. I gotta step in, good man. We don't need to push him on something this mundane. What about you, Lee? I know you're a freshman like us, but do you have any ideas about your major? He looks over towards me. It's the first time he's looked towards me since the conversation started. There's something in his expression that doesn't sit right. He looks almost unsure, not because of the question, but like something's shaking him up. He's been looking like that ever since before Lucas answered. Whatever he's feeling disappears when he registers my question. That strength he always has returns to his eyes if obliterating any doubt lingered on his face. Not yet. Feels like need to find whatever gives me the best chance to support myself and my sister. Can't even go for that. Beautiful signs too. There's something about their answers that causes Lee's features to harden, his lips pressing to get hard together into a thin line. No way for him to reply to that, but he offers nothing. He seems to be aware that we're waiting for something because he looks away towards the door, acting as if the people wandering by are the most interesting thing he's ever seen. I want to ask him more about it, but there's a wall there now between him and all of us. He's never done anything like this before, but I have to respect his boundaries. I don't really know what I'm going to do either. It's a weak attempt to steer the conversation away from Lee, but I hope it's enough. Me neither, just seeing where things go. Maybe we'll find what your passion in somewhere. His voice breaks with a tension stronger than mine ever could. When I look towards her, her eyes aren't focused on the group, but on mine exclusively. There's an understanding between us. She's trying to help me out. Thankfully it works. I'm just bringing this attention back towards her. Attention is still on Lee, though. He's looking back toward Lily, but there's a distance there now, like he's not focusing at all. Fades as the conversation goes on and things go back to normal. Oscar is constantly teasing Lucas for me, taking our opportunity to me somewhere. You fucking... Oh my god, I hate you. Fucking pervert, Jesus. I need to go piss. Jesus. Alright. Lily only laughs and sometimes goads Oscar into some banter. Lee ends up telling Oscar off to try something. Lucas following up with the deadpan insult that he always immediately regrets. That continues even after our meals arrive. Nice, and I feel happy. Happier than I've been in a long time, and there's guilt there because how can I be happy? How can I sit here and have friends? How can I laugh with them? How will I ever deserve this warmth that flows through me whenever Lucas presses up against me? The satisfaction I feel whenever he relaxes against me. After everything I've done, after every mistake I've made, how can I sit here and be happy? Thanks a lot, game. Thanks a lot, game. Fuck. Jesus. Maybe let me took me out to this cute little cafe nearby and we met him. This absolute hunk. I'm pretty sure his biceps are bigger than my head. Name is Conrad and he plays in the football team. He's a linebacker. I don't know what that means, but he's built like a truck. Couldn't tell me that Conrad's single and doesn't even go out with the guys to bars. He said he doesn't like hooking up with random girls, such gentlemen. Mom is a movie star. You remember Diane Hughes? She plays Melanie in Lady Sox's Silks. Got the total jackpot. Sad, isn't it? There's an intruding voice enough to startle me, but she places a reassuring hand on my shoulder. Instilling a feeling of calmness and familiarity. I'm blah 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 blah. Not doing that after Marcus. Can you step back? Your smile is really distracting. That catches both of our attention. We look over to the rest of our group, all of which are standing around a computer. Well, grouping them together isn't quite right. Lee is standing off to the side, a glower across his face. He stares towards Oscar, who was almost towering over Lucas, who was sitting in front of the computer. First part, Lucas doesn't look upset as an edge never leaving the screen is by his scrunched up nose. How the fuck does a fox scrunch their nose up? Jesus. Oscar stands up straighter, putting more distance between himself and the fox. It's not a huge distance, but Lucas does looks tense. Thankfully, he doesn't look offended, but not that I think he's capable of being so. Well, there's an entire computer lab in the library. There's still individual computers scattered amongst the bookshelves alongside a moderately large table, likely for those who want to work with the group or with privacy. Lucas wanted somewhere more private, but I think we would have had to use this place anyway, unless we wanted to awkwardly cram around a tiny little booth. Main area, the rows of computers for anyone to use. There's just a small booth for each one, leaving the work area very small. Very cute. Well, these places look well. I don't think I would have heard if this area of the library had more students. Which one? Lucas, obviously. I don't think you got the other two cute. I actually saw him this in between us. I could catch Lucas's ears twitching, the insides flushed a darker pink. I don't know. I think Lee and Oscar are great too. Of course they're great, but Oscar is hot and Lee's handsome, not cute. I don't think Lee would like you calling him cute. With Oscar no longer invading, looking into the personal space, Lee is now leaning forward to see the screen, occasionally muttering something. They're speaking in such a low volume, there's no chance for me to understand what they're discussing. Hope they're able to find some more about each of the victims. Lee's words managed to linger on the three attractive guys in front of me. Jesus Christ. Yes, that's the diary. He squeaks out such a high tone that all the boys look over toward me, over him, over turn their focus back at the computer screen. That's the final straw that causes Lee to crack, covering her mouth to muffle her laughter. Others don't manage to pick up her laugh, giggles, or they don't react if they do. I'm sure Lucas is just trying his hardest to ignore the two of us, I think, or I would explode if they stared at me again. You read the next one. I'm gonna enjoy that. I can't go a bit longer. Like you, I don't think I have a chance. I don't know how to respond to that, so I just ignore her and get back to reading. There's a surprising amount of ripped pages out the book. Is this something she consistently did herself? When did she rip them out? Was it when she made a mistake and wanted to redo it? But there's many paragraphs that have been crossed out too. Did they have something in them she wanted to forget? Most of the entries are filled with typical average daily life. That sinking feeling I had when I first read starts to return, forming a pit in my stomach. The juxtaposition between how happy she sounds and this compared to what she's done is just a little disturbing and a little sad. Wait, this one mentions Conrad again. Mom, Conrad finally texted me again. I was worried he was going to flake, but he got back to me. He wants to take me on a date. Gwen is trying to get me to wear all this expensive stuff, and it's like, calm down. I can't afford this. She's still making me wear these super cute earrings, like pink stars and a moon. It's so adorable I want to scream. Mercy says she's going to tag along and make sure I'm okay. She wouldn't listen to me when I told her it's fine, and Conrad's a good guy. He could roofie your drink, even though we're going to a restaurant, not a bar, but you know how Mercy is. Worried, concerned, a good friend. It'll be going on Thursday, which is 2 days from now. I'm really excited. It's cute. I remember my first date when we went to the movies. He tried sliding his hand up my skirt. I turned my attention toward Lana to stop myself from gawking at her. Her reaction is a response, and her only response is a laugh and a pat on my shoulder. It's okay, well, it's not okay, but that's boys for you. Fucking Christ, dude. That's, ugh. Where I can stop myself, my gaze slips toward the three guys looming over the computer. Illy doesn't miss that, regardless of how fast I bring my focus back to her. You'll be fine, they're not the type of guys to do that. Okay, Lee and Lucas are the type of guys to do that. I'm pretty sure it's only part of the deal when you go out with someone like Oscar. Part of the deal? Sexual assault? Sexual assault is part of the deal. Fuck off. Don't you fucking say that, cunt. That's not true. Well, yeah, he's got just a job. Clearly wants to get in bed with you. I'm pretty sure he'd reel you down one of these aisles if you asked. Okay, let's switch topics. That caused her to burst out laughing loud enough to catch the attention of the boys. They looked towards her with a curious expression on their faces. Except for Lucas, he's looking away with a flush across his face. Don't know if his ears are just insanely sensitive or he's trying to tune out Oscar and Lee by listening to us. I have a feeling it's the latter. Fine, we'll switch. What about you? How was your first date? Forced by ears against my head, I had the obvious flushing that's about to happen. Prey doesn't peek through my fur or my cheeks. There's a large amount of poof there, but they don't have the prominent red color. I've never been on a date before. I have never even met anyone gay before coming here. You'll get a new experience. That's great. I think any of these guys will certainly be interesting. Don't be afraid to sleep with them on your first date. They're very nummy, and I would not. What the fuck? A choking sound comes from my throat. I must sound like a flustered teenager. I mean, I am 18, but I'm an adult now. You're 18. Jesus. Okay, I'm 20. Hello. Let's see one with them on the first date. And then I can't tell if it's condescending or just her trying to comfort me. She placed a hand on my back and rubs in a circle like you do with a small child to calm them down. Hate that it works. You're so cute. Remember when I was a shy virgin? I think once you get a taste, especially if it's Oscar, it'll burst out of your shell. I know it. I'm reading the next entry now. The book towards my face with such fervor that I almost smacked my nose. I'd happily take that trade. Anything to get me out of this conversation. I managed to avoid my mother, but somehow this feels even worse. But I'm surprised to see another rip page where the next entry should be. And a couple so far, but it's always so jarring to come across. It gives the book an almost morbid aesthetic. A fitting aura considering its history, I suppose. Moving to the next page is an entry that's already started. It looks like it's about the date with Conrad, but the first part is entirely missing, starting us right in the middle of an entry. That was a little strange, but he's a really nice guy. If he didn't look like he could carry me in one arm, I would have never guessed he was a football player. I don't know what he did to make Mercy so against him. He was so sweet, especially to her when they met. She definitely knows something, but she isn't telling me, which is really weird. We told each other everything. Why is she keeping things from me? Whatever it is, I'm sure it's nothing. Conrad's a good guy, and if he does anything weird, I can drop him on his ass. Pfft. Oh boy. Can't wait to call. Oh boy, that's interesting. Flicking between this entry and the one before the rip, I can't help but feel like there's a massive gap of information. Just what caused these pages to get ripped out? She do this before? I thought it might be entry she wanted to write, but she only ripped out half of this one. Did she want to forget it? What happened? What was its reaction? But from the description here, it doesn't seem like the day went bad. I pause in my head and I look up toward the rest of the group. Lucas isn't, how have you not thought of this? Take a piece of paper, take a pencil, and see if there's indentations. Because if there is, you might be able to read what the entries are. Actually, no. Considering there's multiple whipped out at once, Maybe summon? I don't know. Lucas didn't look at the screens arguing with Oscar instead. I can't make out what they're talking about, but Lucas clearly isn't happy. Arguing isn't the correct term. Looks more like he's scolding or lecturing him, while the otter just smiles at him, unfazed by the stern glower on the fox's face. Lee is looking utterly exhausted. He did bring this upon himself, I suppose. I just asked Lucas if he could look up anything interesting regarding the incident, and Oscar followed him. Oscar and Lucas alone is probably a bad idea, so I can't fault him for tagging along, make sure things don't turn into a nuclear war zone. I'll have to thank him later. Lucas, can I get you to look up something for me? Neither Lucas rushes out of his seat and comes over to our table. It was so sudden I have to stop myself from jumping. Looks like he wanted to get out of that situation as fast as possible. Others don't take too long to join us, though. Neither of them sit down like Lucas. He's taking one of the 3 seats across from Billy and me. Yeah, what do you need? Straight ashamed as well as it was just talking is exhausting to me. He doesn't look upset. If anything, it looks more comfortable now. It's more like all this interaction is draining his energy. It's weirdly seeing Lucas so uncomfortable in the library after yesterday. No way to massive blow up when we came in here the first time, but the peacefully slept on top of whatever book he was reading still lingers in my head. I don't think I'll ever be able to forget the image of the eyes burning bright against the sunset. I must have been staring for too long because it looks away towards the wall. The others catch that, and there's a collective raise of eyebrows, so I cough and try to break the tension. So yeah, I think you guys could look up more about Helena's friends. When I picked up things about her before, I only got the basics. Not any guys in return is skittish. It might be best to just look up only a bit more before leaving. I think he's reaching his limit soon enough. He deserves a break. Lucas doesn't know enough about the looks of it, as Oscar also seems just as restless. He's irrelevant but coy. Now it looks exactly trying to force conversation. Likely all this work and no play isn't fitting for someone like him. We can't do that right now. His voice is firm, but not unlike a parent telling one of their children no. It's hard to not focus when you're here, when you're loud as a fire alarm. So obnoxious and insistent. Like usual, Oscar doesn't look offended and looks as a comment. It's hard to tell if Oscar just doesn't understand if he's insulting him or just chooses to ignore it. Maybe he thinks it's cute. Actually, I think that's exactly it. Looks towards me and gives me a wink. It's lacking any form of subtlety, making his intentions with the fox clear as day. The sigh that Lucas releases in response is more than any words he could utter. Oh my fucking god, I hate you. Lucas makes a struggling whimper and looks over toward me with a panicked expression, but there's a hint of something else in there. I think the blush shown through his fur is a sign there's parts in that don't entirely disapprove. Oscar grabs the oh my god. Oscar! My only grows, but he concedes the go of his shirt. I was a trouble toward him like he doesn't understand what he's going on about, but I don't think anyone's buying his innocence. But except between the group, but I got myself relaxing again. Looks like everyone else has as well. Oscar works in strange but effective ways. Oh my god. Really decides to speak up, and I'm thankful for that. I've never been good in social situations, so it's good to have someone help with them. Is it best if we talk to them another day? I think looking up more about them is a great idea. Just making sure being respectful and not pry too deep, okay? I'll be fine. Lucas gets up and walks up back to the computer before he stops and turns towards Oscar. His whiskers are twitching. It looks like his whole body is twitching. He looks nervous. Do you think you're down? You're not very familiar with sports. I've never been someone I'm interested in. Too brutish. I prefer books to legally beating other people up. God, I love him. I love this dude so much. Wait, what? The fuck? I must be going crazy. I have to be going crazy. There's no other explanation. Crosses his arms and looks to be digging his claws into his sleeve. His ears are pressing down hard against his head, and he's looking everywhere except towards us. What catches my eye most is the way his tail just loses all life and hangs limp behind him. He's embarrassed with himself, maybe even angry. Oscar doesn't have any of that. He slides right up next to the fox. I'm starting to press up against him, but he does to me, but he only gives him a smile and a light pat on the back. Judge is respectful, and that's something more shocking than I think anyone expected. I don't think anyone's more surprised than the fox, though. His entire body pricked up as soon as the other got close, but now he's just looking surprised. There's no words as they walk toward the computer and sit down. It's almost empty, damn it. Lee follows along behind them, and the way his ears are perked up, the only thing that betrays is surprise. As soon as he arrives with the other two, he's back to Simon, and Lucas and Oscar are back to bicker on personal space. There's a warmth in our arm. It's not friendship, but there's less of a distance between all of them. All of us, because I'm part of them too. Oh my god, I'm busy, mate. Stop. What the fuck are you doing? I'm busy. As friends. If only I had friends like this too, then why change the way she did? What happened exactly? Doesn't look like something she'd do under normal circumstances, but then again, people are capable of awful things. Terrible, cruel things that completely destroy someone's life. Even a simple mistake can completely ruin everything. Next couple of entries are short and simple. Just quick updates about her life. Just the regular, ordinary days of a college freshman with absolutely nothing spectacular mixed in. Shopping with Mercy, they have a weekly tradition of getting iced coffee and drifting between stores. Funnily enough, Mercy doesn't actually like coffee, so her choices tend to be super flavored. Going to the bar with Quinn. If it's a good night, then Quinn ends up heading off with some guy and Connery takes her home. From the sounds of it, they go out as a trio often. Even as a group of four if Mercy tags along. Things with Connery going slow and steady, the occasional date and texts, but nothing more. He hasn't even made any moves on her. They're taking their time with things. Though it does sound like he's being a gentleman. But then I come across an entry that catches my immediate attention. Happy birthday, Mom. I just got off the phone with you and I just had to write right now. I'm sorry I couldn't get you a present, but I wouldn't even know how to ship them to you on time, but I'll get you something when I come home. Straight up being over your birthday. Can't go out to get our nails done today. I think that's the first in like 10 years. Marcy and I are going out later to get them done. I'll make sure to send you a photo of them. I know you'll send one back. You better not get those neon green nails again, though. They're so ugly. I know things have been hard lately, but I want to know that I love you more than anyone else. There's no way I'll ever let someone hurt you. I'll call you again later, I promise. It'll always just be you and I against the world no matter what, so just keep being strong for the both of us. There's a poignant silence between Lily and me, the weight of that entry hanging between us. I know she's reading along with me. The only noises piercing this somber atmosphere is the quiet bickering between Oscar and Lucas. It's comforting reading it with her. It's not like the other night. It doesn't feel like she's suffocating me. Nothing particularly bad has happened in the diaries so far. But in fact, the tone has been pretty upbeat, but that just makes the sickly feeling in my stomach worse. Like she can sense my thoughts. She reaches a hand over and takes my own. There's no spark. It's completely platonic, and somehow that's everything. Because that means I have a friend. Someone who sees me as only a friend and likes me for me. Thanks. It's no problem. We gotta be there for each other. Almost in the adult world now, everyone is going to look out for us more. It's up to us to help each other out. The feeling of her claws through my fur brings back the memory of a summer vacation long ago. My mother scratched the back of my ears. Marcus bandages up the graze on my knee. He hugged me, and they never let me go until I stopped crying. Pull my hand away while he sits up straight. It gives me a smile as I close the book. Content for one day, the deep violet of the cover is forever burned on my brain by this point. All done? Real question screams out louder than the one said. It says, Are you okay? That is the real question, isn't it? The whole diary is weighing down on me. Stopping would be the best choice. Yeah, I'm fine. I think it's a good place to stop. We learned a little bit. Let's hope the boys found something better. Think back to the last entry in the diary. Something about that last entry felt a little strange to read. I feel like there's definitely something up with it. She had a good relationship with her mom, but I feel like there's something wrong. It's probably your dad. That catches me off guard. I did consider that possibility, but I didn't think she'd be so brash about it. What makes you think that? I don't know if he's dead or if they're divorced, but it looks like he's not involved in their life much anymore. It's probably why they're so close. She does seem really close with my mom. I love my mom. We're not that close, not since I was younger. What about you? Lily's face twitches into an expression I can't describe before she just shakes her head. She opens her mouth to answer, but closes it instead. She looks towards the guys crawling around the computer, and I follow her gaze. Looks like the atmosphere here is even affecting them. There's less open talking, only the occasional mutter from Oscar and Lucas's ear that makes the fox's ears perk up. There's even a distance in their actions. Well, Lucas is still using the computer, Lee and Oscar are on both of their phones. Things are... Her phone cuts her off, blaring loudly. After checking the caller ID as she's standing up and heading off toward one of the aisles. I gotta take the phone call, make sure things stay peaceful. I wouldn't want to see Lucas clown someone's eye out, okay? Don't think I can stop any fight from breaking out if something happens, but there's only one response I can give her. It's not like I can just tell her no. I'll try my best. That should be a smile for dashing down the closest aisle of books, her phone pressed against her head. Her voice echoes towards us for a few moments longer before disappearing deep into the library. Looking towards the rest of our group, they're all staring in the direction Lee disappeared down before Lee looks back to me with his eyebrow raised. She's just got a call. Seems to satisfy them before they go, because they go back to looking at their screens, still completely disconnected from each other. Reading the previous entry over again, I can't shake this feeling of melancholy the little message to her mother has. What did her mother feel when she found out her daughter killed her friends? What about when she killed herself? Did she get 2 calls or just 1? I wonder if they were the worst calls of her life. A light pattering sound distracts me. I notice little states the page. I'm crying. It's not a lot. My eyes are watering. Did my chest always feel this heavy? Maybe doing this alone is a bad idea. Maybe. Hey. Voice that sounds like it comes from right next to my ear causes me to flail, almost falling out of my chair. It's a recognizable voice, but that doesn't stop the lightning-paced speed of my heart. Standing right next to me is Lucas, and he's very, very close, his knees barely an inch away from my legs. I must have been really lost in my head and not have noticed him. I really want my eyes in a futile attempt to save face and give Lucas a smile, but all he has is a confused look on his face. I don't think there's any salvaging this. Glances over toward the other home overlooking back toward me, confusion turning into uncertainty. Well, you said you thought you looked upset and told me to come talk to you. I don't understand why you made me come instead. I feel like giving Oscar a British accent for some reason. Oscar's words sound chastising, but his smiling face is a clear tell that he's just messing around and finding immense amounts of amusement in our situation. This isn't one of your locker rooms, meathead. It's a library, so keep it down. Monty gets the sound of booming laughter, and it's clear that there's more going on between them. I'm guessing Oscar has been teasing Lucas all day, but he isn't focused on that at all. Instead, his attention is solely on me. You're crying. What's wrong? I know I'm not the best with talking or people or just words, but Lucas clenches his eyes closed as he struggles to find the correct words. His ears are flicking in a manic frenzy, and his fingers twitch with anticipation. He looks antsy, like he's trying to race to finish whatever sentence he starts without knowing what he's going to say. But I want to help if I can, so what's wrong? That uncertainty still lingers on his face, and there's something else mixing in there as well. It's as if he's fighting with himself. This is clearly new territory for him, but under it all I can tell he's trying because he wants to help. I think I just miss my parents. I should have been a better son. I don't really talk to them much anymore. Why don't you call them more often then? That would solve the problem, wouldn't it? I must want to hear from you. I cut steep and I feel myself slumping further in the seat, into the chair. I can't look at Lucas right now because he's right. It's all my fault that I'm feeling like this. So I look at the diary. My gaze follows the jagged edges of the ripped page. The silence between us is heavy. The thought that this girl who committed such atrocious actions managed to be closer to a mother than I am is soul crushing. Sorry. No, it's not. There's a warmth that envelops my hand and it takes my breath away, stilling my voice in my throat. I don't even know to look down to know it's Lucas's. I've let his hands against mine enough to recognize them just by touch, and that causes the storm inside my head to dwindle, even if it causes a new one in my stomach. His fur is soft, almost unnaturally so, and his grip is a little too tight, but it's fine right now. The security is comforting. Lucas says he's bad at comforting people, but right now, being himself is enough. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really understand what you're going through, but I know I love my parents more than anything else. You said you call them every night. Yeah, I do. Since I got homeschooled instead of going to high school, I didn't really have any friends, so I got really close to my parents. You got friends now. We're all your friends. His eyebrows furrow with that and dart away, looking at a book that's jutting out of itself. I can feel his hand trembling on my own. I don't know about that, are we? I don't feel like I fit here. Of course we are. I know I consider you a friend, and I'm certain the others do too. It's fresh, but we're definitely friends. Smiles at that, gives my hand a soft squeeze. With the corner of my eye, I get sight of his tail thrashing about in excitement. Then I look up in his eyes and my breath is taken away again. They're burning with so much emotion that I can feel myself getting swept up in the flames. We just stare at each other because what else is there to say? He's looking at me with just as much mysticism as me, and I can't help but wonder what he's seeing in me. Because there's nothing special about me. I don't have Lee's strength, Oscar's charisma, or Lucas's determination. It's just it, isn't it? He's someone who's probably scared out of his mind, but he's still here. He's the most amazing person I know. Oh my god. I can't. I fucking can't. I really fucking can't. No kissing in the library. I'm not sure what catches me off guard more, the comment or the fact that it's from Lee. looking towards with an eyebrow raised and head tilted. The way his eyes dart between us speaks more than any words he could ever say. But aside from the censorious look in his eyes, he's still got a smile on his face, and I'm not entirely sure why. I feel like I'm being left out of something, but I can't think without blood rushing to my face. Something similar must be happening to Lucas too, because he yanks himself away, his entire body going stiff and staring at tension. Perked ears clearly showing off the rapid reddening. Lucas sputters for a couple seconds before he finally manages to form a coherent sentence. We weren't gonna fucking kiss a troglodyte. You're the one who made me come over here. I thought, harsh language. I can't stop a smile from forming on my face. I must be hanging around with Oscar too much because this lashing out makes Lucas look cute. Does it? Does it now? Does it make him look cute? Oh boy. Lee and Oscar must be thinking the same thing, because their smiles only widen further, and they look towards each other and seem to come to some shared understanding about something. Troglodyte. Why do you know that? Oh my god. You definitely laugh like one sometimes. Banter between them isn't natural. It feels a little forced, and it takes a moment to realize what they're doing. They're trying to make Lucas feel more at ease. Lucas seems to realize something body relaxes. There's still a residual tension lingering in his body. His expression is softened, leaving him looking mournful. Sorry, I didn't mean to lash out like that. Fine, kid, we understand. There's so many more compared to all their actions, so I reach out and take his hand like good to me just minutes earlier. As everything else disappears, he looks immediately at me, and I can tell by his eyes that his focus is completely on me right now. It's a little imitating how easily he's able to completely focus on one thing. Jesus fuck, just kiss already. Holy hell, just fucking kiss already, you fucking lovebirds. They're saying that you don't hurt their feelings. I don't try to be mean, I just say stuff that doesn't always come out right. It's okay, we're all friends here, you don't have to be scared of us. I just have trouble with people that understand things. Looks embarrassed, but not ashamed, more bashful than anything else. I feel like he wants to tell me something, but he's struggling with it. So I try to throw him a little lifeline. Just something about them long. Why's that? It's nothing. Just now I realize that Lucas is an awful liar. I don't think he lies often. He comes across as someone who always says what comes to mind. You don't have to be afraid. I won't judge you. You helped me today, yesterday, just let me help you. I can't tell you. Not yet. I'm not comfortable sharing that part of myself with someone again. I can't promise you it's not something that needs fixing. It's just a part of me. Staring up my chest, almost bumps into his, and I'm once again reminded just how close Lucas is standing to me. Oh my god, you two need to kiss already, Jesus. So I take a step back as a move as if the minuscule distance between us doesn't bother him at all. I know there's days I don't feel like myself and think I'm a bad person, but it cuts me up because now he takes a step back. He looks mortified at what I said. Something about it doesn't mesh well with him. What? No, you're the best person I know. You're such a good person. Lucas, I didn't meet. No one else has ever reached out to me like that or tried to be my friend in a long time, so don't call yourself a bad person because... A hand lands on Lucas's shoulder and doesn't say a word, only whirls around to see who's behind him. Takes a step back and bumps into me, but I steady him. Just Lee, and that stoic look in his face has a stern edge to it. I'm instantly reminded of my father right before he scolds me, and to think Lucas thinks that too by the way his ears press against his head. Enough, you're being too loud. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I know. Boss was just trying to say that you can talk to him about things. You don't have to now, but the option is always there. Really, I didn't know. Because it was a smile and he looks like a father at his children's graduation or wedding. The implication of that tries to bring a tingle to my face, but I push it down. It's not the time for thoughts like that. Come on, I need some help with this thing. Just like that, I was walking away towards Oscar, leaving the two of us speechless. We're pretty much just standing there like stunned deer in headlights. Eventually, Lucas turns around with a sheepish expression on his face, and I can't help but smile because he looks adorable. He still looks pretty frazzled by the whole thing, but I don't think it's stressing him out as much. I should go help him out. Alright, meant what was I gonna say? Huh? That you can talk to me. Oh. Not the next step before turning back toward me. Wrings his hands while he looks everywhere but toward me. There it is. That smile returns and gives me a couple of nods before hurrying over the rest of our group. Oscar and him immediately start bickering, but the smile never leaves his face. Looking at my phone, I open Mother's number and stare at her as we get up and walk out to one of the aisles. Almost clear to see Lee's eyes staring directly at me. There's a movement that I'm worried is going to stop, but he just looks down towards his phone once more. Being the quiet type is definitely a blessing sometimes. Doesn't look like there's anyone in this section. Looking at the books, I think they're about Icelandic history. Suppose this isn't a popular section, but that's good for me. Just want to make a phone call. Bringing up my mother's number, there's a familiar sinking feeling in my stomach, and I begin to feel dizzy, but I push it away. I can't let that night stop me from calling my mother forever. It rings for almost 20 seconds before she picks up. She might be at work right now. Hopefully it isn't too busy. Hearing her voice through the phone brings a flood of emotions, a mixture of relief, warmth, and embarrassment. Hey, baby, what's wrong? I haven't heard from you in a few days. Everything going all right? My mouth feels so dry. All of a sudden, and forming words is a lot harder now after taking a deep breath. I'm able to pull myself together. It's going good. I just thought I should give you a call. I haven't called you in a while, and I was scared I might be worrying you. I'm not causing you problems at work. Oh, baby, no, we're not busy right now. I'm always make time for you. Helps that you're married to the boss. Able to stop chuckling at the phone, and for some reason that causes all tension in my body to fall away. It melts away like ice cream on a summer day, unable to handle that wonderful warmth. It certainly helps, and I'm always worried about you. I just thought you'd be silly, and I don't want to stress you out. Mom, if you ever need to talk, you know both your father and I are always here. So I look at myself, I can't stop myself from smiling, and my eyes are getting misty. There's so much I want to say, but nothing comes out of my mouth. It's like my voice has been stripped away. I love you, baby. You mean the world to us. I love you, too. Barely able to croak it out. The words are hoarse, and I can't stop the wobbling in my voice. I hope it doesn't worry them too much. So what's bothering you? Nothing's wrong. I just saw something. I want to call you to let you know that I love you. Baby, you don't know how much that means to us. It includes your father, too. It's that soft chuckle again. I can't stop myself from joining her. It's more somber now, but I can feel the warmth too in my cheek for... Mark, you stopped talking to us as much. We didn't want to push you, but we were scared we weren't doing enough. It causes my breath to hitch and my blood run cold. Surely they can't think that I blame them for what happened. No, you two were perfect. I just needed time. I think I would still need time. Of course, take as long as you need. Just don't be scared to call us if you need us, okay? I won't, I promise. Is my boy not have any friends? Yeah, I have. Hanging up the phone was like a weight's been thrown on my chest, and I can finally breathe for the first time in years. It's an amazement that I'm not heaving. Just a simple phone call, just a tiny chat between mother and son. It felt like so much more than like the first time in a long time that we had truly talked to each other. After all the hassle this diary has given me, I can't help but feel a little grateful for finding this little thing. Not sure I would have the strength to call him otherwise. I wouldn't call it a blessing, but I'm glad for it at this moment. It's strange just how relieved I'm feeling about the whole thing. It doesn't fix everything, but it does make me feel a whole lot better about before. I'm about to head back towards the group when I notice something outside the window, something very concerning. Oh no, is this when it gets weird? I've been warned. I've been warned by my friend that it gets weird. I've been warned. I've been warned. I've been warned. Jesus, I need to piss real bad. Oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'm gonna go do that real quick. Yeah. And, yeah, it's almost 2 hours. Almost 2 hour long video. Oh boy. Plug you in, and I'll go now. Jesus Christ, man. Right, okay. Alright. Let's get back into this and see what happens here. About to head back toward the group when I notice something outside the window, something very concerning. It's Lily, except she's not looking like herself. She's still talking on the phone, but she seems upset. She's covering the phone like she's trying to hide what she's saying, and the fur under her eyes look wet. I wouldn't say she's crying as much as her eyes are watering. There's a solemn aura about her that, like this phone call, is actively draining all her playful energy. It's so different from how she normally is that for a moment, I think it might be someone else, but the Shiba Inu wearing the yellow cardigan is too recognizable. Just like that, she ends her call wiping her red eyes with her free arm, and I feel my chest tighten. Because there's someone there, a friend who needs my help. Bile rises up as the memory of that cold night on the beach floods through me. The salty smell of the beach makes me feel lightheaded. I have to steady myself to stop myself from keeling over and vomiting on the floor. When I look up, Lily's walking away along the side of the building. Her movements are stiff and she's still clutching her phone in her hand. She occasionally stops to take a deep breath and cleans herself up. It's a sad, lonely sight. No matter what it takes, I won't let someone who needs my help go through things alone. Not again. Never again. The city set my head spinning as he frenzy managed to get back to the others. By the time I arrived, they were walking straight enough to hopefully not arouse any attention. Giving up any pretense is still working. The three of them are all sitting around the large desk. All of them look super relaxed, even if none of them are talking. If I wasn't so out of it, I think I'd be excited that everyone's getting along. Lucas is trying to use his phone while Scourge leaning over to peek at his screen without any sense of shame. Lee is just leaning back on his chair, looking directly towards me with this expression so neutral it's genuinely unsettling. Lee quirks a questioning eyebrow, and I quickly notice with a wave that I hope comes off as nonchalant. I hope I don't look as ill as I feel. I'm not sure if he sees right through me and doesn't say anything, or if he didn't notice. She mind, being the quiet type isn't great at all. I sit back in my previous chair. It and Lily's were thankfully left vacant. Being surrounded by everyone is comforting. Pushing the negative thoughts away, I close my eyes and embrace the lackadaisical atmosphere. Sound of footsteps caught my eyes open, and when I see it's Lily, she's looking better than she did outside, but there's still little specks of evidence sprinkled about. The fur under her eyes is still damp, but now they're more disheveled, as if she tried to wipe it dry. Her bloodshot eyes are only barely concealing any problems. But she's smiling, and while it has a sad undertone, it still feels genuine. Whatever the call been about, she must be glad it's over and back with her friends. Her friends, us, me. She's looking for some comfort right now, even if we're not supposed to know that. Bringing up would just happen only do more harm. She'll open up to us if she wants. I won't push her even if I want to help. So I do what she needs right now. I give her a smile and a little wave when she returns with her own smile, or coming to sit next to me. It's small, but being there for her is all I can do at the moment. Sorry about that. Hope I didn't keep you guys waiting. We weren't. Wallace disappeared for a bit, too. Glances toward me with a curious glint in her eyes and a sly smile on her face. I don't want to know what's going through her head. I just called my mom. Wasn't anything weird? Scourge and Lily give each other a look that I don't recognize, and there's a sense of dread that rapidly fills my chest. I don't get it. Just ignore them, kid. They're being stupid. The faux insulted gasp Oscar gives in response is too dramatic for even him, and he just shakes his head with a grin on his face. Well, what kind of nickname is that? He flashes back to Ari calling Lucas Lulu, and I'm not able to stop myself from grinning. There's a bad voice in the back of my mind telling me to bring that up, but I really don't think he'd appreciate that. Well, you could just call him Lulu and they wouldn't know. Lucas would know, but they wouldn't. If you didn't bring up the roommate, you'd just be like, yeah. I'm not sure if Lucas is able to figure out what I'm thinking, but when he catches my smile, I'm able to see the insides of his ears darkening. Maybe he's a little aware. Yeah, you don't shorten anyone else's name. I roll Lee gives in response is so incredibly childish that it causes my eyes to widen. When Lee smiles afterwards, I can't help but wonder if he's finally warming up to him. Oscar really brings out this different side of him. Their dynamic is certainly strange. They're bringing out the worst and best of each other at the same time. What about Wallace? I haven't heard you call him anything that isn't dude or man. I'm not a big fan of nicknames. I'd really prefer just Wallace. You're very biased towards Wise. The name you give me is very demeaning. Oh boy. In an act of supreme confidence or utter stupidity, Oscar reaches over and ruffles Lucas's head fur between his ears. I want to bitch slap this motherfucker, Jesus. Like, just so stunned as in wrath for something before he growls at Oscar, but the growing blush peeking into his fur tells a different story. Lux looks down the table, scissors the fish with his ears, his face still visibly burning through his dark fur. If that wasn't enough, it's incredibly hard not to notice his tail thrashing behind him. It's really annoying, but my mom calls me Grumpa too, so that's okay. You're encouraging him. Current edge of Lee's mouth belies his scolding tone, and when Lucas looks confused at the comment, he only shakes his head instead of elaborating. Looks like Lee doesn't have the heart to tease him. Soon enough, Oscar's trying to hug the fox, and Lee's half-hearted attempts to stop the scrap from breaking out make everything feel so warm and affectionate. The giggling next turns my attention back to Lily in the mirror what I just saw moments ago. Looking back at the group, it's clear they're preoccupied for now. I don't think prying is a good idea, but simply checking up on her should be fine, right? Hey? Word on the strip it might be too soft with Lucas now yelling at Oscar about belonging in a strip club. Now I wish I knew the context, but she turns towards me. Previously bloodshot eyes and now return back to their soft gold on white, no signs of crying outside of the stiff clumps of dried fur under her eyes. Wouldn't even want to see it if you weren't looking for it. Hey there. I hope everyone behaved. Do you have to stop any fights from breaking out? I'm pretty sure that Lee really is the one that stops the fights. Right when she shakes her head and points to me for leaning forwards to join me in whispering. Looks like whatever happened outside isn't quelled her playful personality. I think Lee causes just so many fights. He's a bit of a prude. Shut the fuck up. God. Ah, yes, totally. Touching some without asking is totally... that's totally fine. That's totally fine. But wanting to have personal space is apparently being a prude. Okay, sure. Gives a giggle that fills with such sweet tone that I can't help but smile back towards her. She's 2 hours already. They get along a lot better than they make it seem. I think they're all growing in each other. They are. Better than that day in the library. Luke isn't straight up insulting people anymore, at least talking a lot more now. Or maybe you didn't notice because they're all so nice towards you. Because we can sit up straight or my chair on you and see your glance towards the others. Thankfully, they're all still distracted with Lee trying to stop Oscar from making Lucas grope his bicep. Jesus fucking Christ. Really? You're so oblivious, aren't you? Lucas is right. Oscar does have a bias towards you, but they all do. I don't think I deserve that. I almost jump completely out of my skin when I feel a hand on my cheek. It's an action I'm not used to feeling. Even my mother would only scratch under my chin at most. I'm not sure. I'm not used to having such openly affectionate friends with both Oscar and Lily. I'm not sure my heart's going to last the rest of the semester. You're a sweet guy and they see that. You don't need to be so harsh to yourself. Blushes like Lucas across the table, who is now staring towards us with a raised eyebrow, but he swiftly turns his attention back to Lee, who's now scolding the two of them. Leaning back, the feeling of her fingers slide on my cheeks and a shiver up my spine, and she notices and lets out a soft laugh that she tries to hide behind her hand. I change the subject and get tired, distracted. Are you doing okay? You looked a little upset when you came back. I don't want to pry, I'm just worried. Bracing myself for her smile to drop, I'm left flabbergasted when she smiles even brighter. It's filled with so much determination that I can feel my cheeks burning so hot that I know my white fur isn't hiding anything. looking at? Oh boy. This is what I mean. You're so caring and kind. Yes, I'm doing good. Great, even. Hanging with friends always helps. I asked about the call. I want to ask so badly, but I know it's not my place. I have that dark need in my chest burning. I gotta restrain myself just a little. Lily makes the choice for me when she calls out to the group. So how did our investigation go? Did you boys find anything interesting? Everyone stares at me first, and when I meekly look toward Lily, she gives me an encouraging nod. This isn't something I'm gonna get used to do it anytime soon. I guess this is my punishment for being a loner for so long. Whoa, okay, again. Again, the skipping part. 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 That seems like more than enough for today. If I only be here for an hour or two, I'm already feeling drained. The others look like they're handling this much better than I am. If that's all of them, still look raring to go, even Lee. Though the scowl he's wearing on his face gives that energy a new meaning. Don't mean to be a downer, but we didn't exactly get much shit done. In the end, it doesn't sound like we learned anything of substance from our investigation today. Just a bunch of hunches and leads, but nothing to use in a report. Turns out most of these people were just that. Normal people. There's a chuckle, and I know it's odds before I even turn my head. He's leaning back in his chair, bounces on his large tail. I really hope it doesn't get a hand. Yeah. Bounces out of the... Lily bounces out of her chair with more enthusiasm than I think I've ever felt in my life. After returning from whatever that call was, she quickly returned back to her joyful self after only a couple of minutes hanging with us. We got some information important people related to this event. We can talk about how they made to portray them too. We're doing great. I think... The rest of the class has only just started. I got other classes to work on. You might be willing to dump all your time in a general education class, but some of us have actual real classes to worry about. Sits up straighter. The bush Lucas sits up straighter with a huff, his crossed arms tightening as he tries to make himself look bigger than he is. Oh, is the cute boy mad? His ears make him look taller than me, but at least still towers over both of us, and Oscar's is a giant even when he's sitting. Makes his attempt to appear on the same level as them rather childish, but his comment did drive the conversation to a halt. No one looks like they're going to say anything after that. Maybe Lucas went a little too far here. Oh boy. I mean, he does have a point. He does have a point. I wouldn't want to waste all my time on something like that either. Like, oh boy. But this guy over that must be thinking the same thing too, because it begins to sink down in his chair while his ears pressed down against his head. I think I can hear him muttering an apology under his breath. But it's so soft, I don't think anyone caught it. But now is my perfect time to interject. Well, I think we're doing good, even if we haven't gotten very far. I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys. I'm not very used to hanging out with friends before. I'm not sure if it's my imagination or the way that Lee softens at my words, but I swear I can physically hear the tension melting away in the group. It's like a waterfall is flushing over the atmosphere in its torrents. Right, sorry kid, I guess I was taking this shit a bit too seriously. It's not a bad thing to care about your studies. Causes Lee to snort, and just like that, everybody's smiling again. I want to say it's emotional whiplash, but it feels right. Exhausting, but right. RNG is a bitch. Ah, yes it is. Yes it is. Oh boy, is it? Friendships always this exhausting. Oh, yes they are. Or maybe I'm overworking myself. Maybe I mess myself up a little too much with the diary. Actually, that makes more sense. If I'm this tired, I wonder how tired Lily must be. She looked a lot worse than I did. Hope she's not pushing herself for our sakes. Speaking of Lily, she picks up the diary and holds it up with an overdramatic flair. We already have a big advantage on this project. With this, we have an extra leg up on this assignment, so let's just have fun for now. Suddenly, a loud car horn screeched from the parking lot next to the library. The ugly noise piercing through the quiet building. Our table must be right next to it. Oh god, is this about a phone call? Loud sound causes Lily to jump, dropping the diary on the floor in the process. She's not the only one startled as Lee immediately jumps to his feet. Oscar and Lucas are still steady, both staring at the two standing members of our team. Oscar's raised brow and smirk, a stark contrast to Lucas's wide, frantic eyes that flicker over toward me intermittently. But there is something about that car horn that sounds off. cough in a way that's awful and familiar, in a way that twists my gut to the point where I'm scared I'm going to lose my lunch. Before I can stop myself, I'm already on my feet looking around the room. I must look like someone having a manic attack, because if this is like last time, especially if this is like last time, I must have fallen asleep. I don't want another nightmare. However, this time the others look just as confused by the reverberating sound, and I'm not sure if I should feel comforted at knowing it's not just me, or horrified that it's something they can hear too. What was that? Maybe this was caught up by a sudden cracking sound. Before any of us can react, the ground shatters beneath us? And just like that, I'm falling into a darkness without even a chance to glance at the other. This awful darkness, this familiar sensation of dread. Nothing good is ever found in the dark. When I finally come to, the first thing to my mind is how uncomfortable whatever I'm lying on feels. Is this gonna be my first 3-hour video? I think it might be. Open my eyes, everything is blurry, and the light above is strong enough to cause a throb of pain to pulse within my skull. Jesus Christ. Trying to push myself to my feet, my sluggish body barely responds to my brain's commands. What should have taken me seconds feels like it took me minutes just to push myself to my hands and knees. Despite how much time it took, it's still too fast for my body, and I almost vomit onto the floor. The retching motion causes blood to rush to my head. By some small miracle, I'm able to keep my lunch from exiting my body, but it's only a small victory. Because I'm finally able to comprehend my surroundings, it only adds more questions. Questions with very bad implications. First thing I notice is just how white all the walls are. They're covered in posters, from diagrams of the human body to general notices. Looking down, it's very clear what the hard surface I had been lying on had been. The hard lino floor with a soft blue tint. I'm in a hospital waiting room. A small waiting room like the one situated outside a doctor's office. What's going on? First thing I noticed about this hospital is how quiet everything is. There are no people moving throughout the building, no chatting between nurses and patients, no beeping and buzzing of equipment. There's nothing but the oppressive silence that tightens its grip around my lungs, making it hard to breathe. I need to calm down. Just calm down, Wallace. Looking around the room, the small waiting area doesn't have too much inside it. There's a cushioned bench, a small stand, and a shelf filled with rows of pamphlets. The room is uncomfortably white, and with how clean the floors are, but I swear for a small moment, in the corner of my eye, I can see the floor or the furniture rotting. It's never there when I look directly at it. The sterility feels fake. While the floor is absent of any dirt, there are little pamphlets scattered across the floor. Layers of colors and words that look almost pretty when you don't focus on them. Picking one up, it is a small raccoon crying on a desk. The whole thing is drenched in monochrome. The words, "Do you need someone to talk to? Does someone else you know need help?" are plastered across the top in big block letters. Does someone else need my help? The tightening of my chest worsens and my breathing speeds up again. I know I shouldn't let this get to me, but it's all too much. This whole room is just too small. It's suffocating. Dropping the pamphlet, I rush out into an equally empty hallway. It's arguably just as eerie as the waiting room, but the relief that washes over me is much more prominent. Okay, Wallace, what exactly is going on? Am I dreaming again? really pinch myself. Pain doesn't happen in dreams, right? Admittedly, I learned that from a fictional romance book, but I think it's true. Pricking the back of my hand with the tip of one of my claws, there's a small rush of stinging pain that lasts only a moment before passing. Okay, I have to pause here and just say this is background. It reminds me to an eerie degree of the hallway that was in one of the mental hospitals I was in. Like this looks like the hallway that the bedrooms were on, like the rooms that you slept in. Um, I need water, so I'm gonna go get that. And you guys just gonna sit here with the silence and get scared, I guess, cause yeah. I need water, and my giant ass water bottle is empty again. So, oh, back. Oh my god, that's a good stretch. Jesus. Mm. Go now. Jesus. Oh my god. Mm. I feel so fucking weird. Oh my god. My whoa, what? My fucking eyes just did something there. I don't know what that was. Alright. Time to get back into this, I guess. I'm pretty sure that counts as pain, so not a dream. I hope it's not the much darker option of kidnapping, but regardless of what this is, I need to get out of here. Contemplate calling out for everyone else. They might be here too. But if this is a kidnapping, I don't want to tip off whoever took me here. Surely I'll find them eventually if I just look around. Why would they take you to a hospital? Pulling out my phone, there's a brief moment of relief that it's not missing or been taken, but that's quickly dashed. Hold down the power button, expecting a burst of light, but the screen stays black. Oh shit, I must be out of power. Shove in my pocket, I bring my focus back and getting out of wherever the hell I am. It's a good question. Creeping my way down the hall, the desolate hospital refuses to acknowledge my presence. There's no other sound, no light clacking on my claw. Oh boy. Nothing moves, nothing makes a sound, and that makes it so much worse. It's like there's someone standing behind me waiting for me to turn around. I mean, if nothing happening, it's only moving to a more casual walk. I can't release the tension in my body, but moving in a snail's pace isn't gonna get me out of here faster. I mean, cool logic, bro, but I don't think it's gonna help very much. Just saying. I think you're pretty just stuck there. I don't know why, but you are. Sterile scent air feels suffocating and inescapable, like it's gonna be burning my nose. Just need to get out of here and find the others. Anything but being alone here. Speaking of others, I really hope they're all okay. I can't help my mind from wondering how Lucas is handling all of this. From what we've seen, he doesn't do well under stress, and calling the situation stressful is a colossal understatement. Though Lucas is older than me, I feel like he's someone more vulnerable than I am. I need to find him fast, assuming he's here at all. Seeing that picture of that young raccoon hunched over and crying, I can't help imagine that is Lucas, the way he always looks on the brink of tears whenever things are exceptionally bad. My breath racing and my steps soon follow. I can now feel the adrenaline pumping through my veins. My desperation is rising. I feel bile at the back of my throat. Don't freak out. Please don't freak out. I don't know if I'm talking about Lucas or myself, but I have a feeling that's not gonna matter. I'm so lost in my own thoughts and not paying attention where I'm walking. And the moment my foot touches something that isn't the cold floor, my fur prickles into needles and I let out a yell, a borderline scream. Not sure if it's the raw fear overpowering me, but I swear I jumped at least 4 feet in the air. On the floor, another little pamphlet lies, but my attention is focused around it because the surrounding area looks much dirtier, and for a split second, it looks like it's spreading. Staring at it longer is very clearly not moving, but there's this sinking feeling in my stomach that if I look away from it, then it will grow and consume the rest of the floor like a festering infection. Like the ominous circumstances, my curiosity gets the better of me, and I pick up the folded paper. Reading what's written inside it causes the rest of the hospital to fall away, and that hideous feeling of dread swells with greater force within me. This is all your fault, Wally. Why do you always ruin everything? My hands begin to shake and the piece of paper falls slowly to the ground. The world is spinning around me. It's like time is slowing down and speeding up at the same time. What the fuck? Right now, on my hands and knees, my head hanging towards the floor. Only sound I can hear is the uneven heaves of my breathing and skin crawling and cracking. I'm like, okay then. Can't do this, not again. Smell the beach in the distance, and I'm not even sure if it's real. Or just my head fucking with me again. Then just as suddenly there's a hand on my back. It's warm and soft, rubbing in long strokes. It's like a lighthouse in the middle of a stormy night. Pushing everything out of my head as possible, I focus onto that hand. That sweet beacon. Only the sound of my rapid breathing, the light scratching of claws before I'm able to push everything out of my mind, just exist for a moment. These few seconds feel like an eternity of my breathing slows. Still, eventually my breathing slows. It feels like it's a faster pattern than usual, but I'm still in my body of slowly. Looking up toward my savior, it's both unsurprising and somehow the biggest relief I've ever experienced. Lily, you doing okay? You look like you're in some trouble. Gives me a soft smile that reaches her eyes, which are filled with concern and extremely exhausted. But the others are here too. Gives me a soft smile that reaches my eyes, which are filled with concern and extremely exhausted. I can't imagine spending any. I already read that. Fine, I swear. I just needed a moment. Don't have to make up an excuse. It's okay to need help. You don't gotta be ashamed of it. No, it's just embarrassing. You have nothing to be embarrassed of, especially around me. My ear is burning, but there's a swell happiness in my chest. I can't believe I have friends who care about me as much as she does. Know what Marcus would think of me now. Throughout all this, she never stops brushing her fingers through my head, for I can't tell she wants to ask what's wrong, but surprisingly showing a lot of restraint. Guess this is a bit more serious situation than Lucas having vague problems in the library. I think I'm good. Sure, we don't have to go. Yeah, in fact, I'd rather see as little of this place as possible. Not a fan of hospitals. He scrunches up in disgust, and it's very clear it's more than simple dislike, but when she catches me looking at her curiosity, she wipes it off her face and brings back that reassuring smile. It's certainly not my favorite of places, you can say that. Now come on, let's find the others and get out of here. This is so fucking Lynchian. I love it. It just came out of nowhere. God. Regular fucking scene, typical everyday situation, and then all of a sudden, the crazy drops in. That's very Lynch. That's very Lynchian. Her hand leans on my head and I feel an immediate yearning for it to return, that comforting touch. It's not something I've had in a long time. Maybe I can ask her to try it for me later. Taking her hand, I'm surprised by how easily she's able to pull me up. She's the same size I am, but she pulls me up like it's nothing. Whoa! My dad's a self-defense trainer, ex-military, CQC stuff. I can kick any guy's ass, don't you worry. Preens at that and puffs out her chest in a way that reminds me a lot of Oscar. She's got a massive grin on her face, like him too, though her tired, sunken eyes are a grin reminder how serious the situation is. Drops the act, realizing it's probably the best time for that before you wave me towards her. And to continue to the hall like I have been, Billy walks past me and indicates for me to follow her. Okay, from now on, there's not a bunch of locked doors even from the stairwell. There may be a key in one of these rooms? Have you tried opening any of them? No, really? I was just hoping to find some stairs and get out. Walking towards one of the doors, she tilts her head and waits. The look of amusement in her eyes and the way her ears lean towards me makes me feel a bit silly, but I take a step forward, regardless, and pull in one of the doors. Oh my god, more than 2, almost 2 hours, 4 minutes. Good grief. A little bit silly, but I just step forward, regardless, and pull in the doors. It doesn't budge at all. There's never the sound of the door struggling against the lock. It's like it could never open to begin with. What the? Lily doesn't look surprised at all. There's a small resurgence of panic in my chest. Oh my god. Hey, it's okay, now the doors are locked. I found one that leads to this hallway. We're fine. Just have to find a way out. This door didn't even rattle or anything. Yeah, I don't think these doors even lead anywhere. I tried kicking them down, it was like it was hitting a wall. I didn't even hear any echo on the other side. Where are we? The hospital is like this. I don't think that matters right now. Let's just keep moving. Yeah, okay. There's firmware, mine's out of battery. No, it doesn't. I fully charged it this morning, but it's not turning on. Don't worry, I'm sure it's just flat if I got knocked out for so long. I'm not sure if that's better or worse. That means you've been here for a while. Turning back to the room I woke up in, Lee peeks into before taking a few steps in. Looks around for something before looking confused. Why is this one unlocked? Oh, I woke up here? You woke up in a room? I only woke up in a hallway on the gross floor. Is it temptation to mention how I've been on the floor as well, but I don't think now is really the time for semantics. What's this? Lily points towards a piece of paper on the ground where I've been lying. Did I miss it when I searched the room before? I swear there wasn't anything there, but maybe I missed it. As she picks it up, I feel a sense of dread. What if it's another message directed toward him? What if it's... Turns it over, it's just a small photo. Some blue flowers sitting in a thinly... Blue rose. Blue rose. Below the photo, written in a blank space, is the words, "Where have you been?" Very beautiful, and nothing like the taunting message I received. But Lily's gone somber, silent with a somber expression on her face. It's subtle, and she's able to keep her ears from drooping, but that smile she wears turns a darker shade of bittersweet. Are you okay? Looking towards me, she gives me a slow nod before putting the photo on a nearby desk. Stands out amongst the piles of pamphlets. Yeah, I'm good, it's nothing. Just remind me of something I haven't done in a while. Let's go find the others. I bet Luke is freaking out. I ask her what's wrong. I don't think now's the time. We should be focused on finding the others. So I nod and follow her down the hallway, checking doors as we pass them for any give. No luck so far. It feels like 10 minutes of walking down numerous corridors. We reach a stairwell. That makes me excited to finally have anything other than just endless white hallways with the same fake doors. We're finally getting somewhere. Nearly has clearly gotten back to her cheerful self. I can't understand. I can't understand how she's so calm and composed at the moment, let alone smiling. I feel like I'm 2 steps away from a panic attack. Things are gonna be fine, don't worry. I must have sensed my thoughts because she's now resting her hand on my shoulder and giving me that sweet concerned smile. Oh my god! Oh my god, this might be my first 3-hour video. This might be my first 3-hour video. Holy fuck. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Jesus. Oh my god. You know what? I'm making it 3 hours. It's going to be 3 hours. This is happening. Yeah, okay. Everything will be okay. No need to worry. Try my best. I give her a very shaky smile. It's not very convincing, but she plays along regardless, pulling away and gesturing to the stairs. There we go. Hopefully these lead somewhere. At the bottom of the stairs, we're confronted by 3 different hallways. By the signs above them, they each lead to a different department. The left hallway leads to the physical rehabilitation therapy department. Never even broken a bone, let alone had to go to physical therapy. That sounds terrifying. I've never broken a bone either. I mean, I've been in a hospital. I've been in a medical hospital, 3 times. 2 times for me, and the second one was for my sister. And the 3rd time was for my sister. I remember that. I remember waiting in the room for her surgery to be over and being so fucking worried. The hallway directly opposite them leads towards the emergency room. That place surely is an exit, right? Patients need access to it from the outside. The final hallway on the right looks to head towards the speech and languages services department. That's new to me. I've never heard of this area before. It's an area for helping those with communication problems, like if you need to improve your speech skills or have some kind of prescription. Oscar must have a friend with mutism. I'm sure he's gone through speech and language therapy. Lily must have caught my confusion because she clarifies quickly. Not sure I completely understand, but I get the gist of it. I don't really know anything about hospitals. I've never had to go in one before. It's just something I've learned. I've visited every one hospital with my fair share. Any reason what I know this place would make a lot of sense, but then again, don't think a lot of this does. Best to just roll with it. Because me often plays with a jokey tone, but it's clear there's a topic she doesn't want me to pry into. I don't think Lily would ever get angry at me for asking, but I want to push her boundaries regardless. Looking back towards the hallway, I can't help but wonder what else comes under needing that kind of treatment. My mind instantly wonders about Lucas and how he behaves in class. Would this have helped him? Did he go to it and that's why he's at college? He seems to absolutely hate it in school and he's definitely awkward around people. But I don't know if that's the kind of thing you'd need these services for. Turning my focus to the situation, I turn towards Lily and I can't stop myself from wringing my hands. My entire fur coat is standing on end with how tense I'm feeling. Which way do we go? Yeah, we'll definitely have a way out. It's an entrance for people needing an emergency, after all. But we might want to look around to see if we can find the others. Speaking of the speech and language therapy services, I cannot but be more than curious about this now that Billy confirmed what it was. Not sure why this which reminds me of Lucas. I think it's my own stereotyping at play. But I can't stop myself from taking a few steps into the hallway because maybe he is down here and needs my help. Not very hard to imagine him terrified in this kind of situation. He barely does well in normal stressful situations, especially not one as serious as this one. As soon as I step into the corridor, there's a slamming behind me, followed by a panicked yell from Lily, and I can't stop myself from tripping over as I try to spin around. Behind me, where the door to the hallway used to be, is a set of large metal bars blocking the exit. Looks like the ones you'd see in a jail cell. Oh, is she alright? What happened? I don't know, the bars fell from the top of the door. Looking quickly, but I can tell she's trying to keep her cool. In fact, it looks like she managed to calm herself down rather well. Wish I could have that kind of self-control, because right now I can feel my heart racing to my chest and my breathing accelerating to a fever pitch. Reaching up to the bars are cool against my pads on my fingertips. A quick tap with my claw confirms they're real and definitely metal. Gripping the bars, I give a half-hearted tug. See if there is any give at all, but quickly stop once I know it's not going anywhere. My body strength is weak as it is. I can't move or bend metal bars. Lily, on the other hand, gives a much more enthusiastic attempt and pulls with all her might. I can see the muscles on her arms. Arms tensing in veins, pushing the fur on her neck. Eventually, she too gives up with an annoyed grunt, but if there's one silver lining, at least I know she can easily beat me in a fight. I don't think this thing is budging, sorry. Well, what do we do? Should we wait for help or what? I think it's best we split up here. You go deeper inside, maybe you'll find someone or another way out, and I'll go down another hallway. Maybe we can meet up along the way. The thought of leaving Lily is terrifying. It takes an enormous amount of strength not to burst out in tears right now. What if you get locked in too? It doesn't look like there's any key, so I don't think we're gonna get this open. Tower coming back through here. I want to argue more, but there's nothing else I can add because she's right. Unless we find some mechanism that opens this, there's no way I can make it back. But I'm scared. I don't even have to say anything because Lily must see the fear written all over my face. She even approaches the locked bar and cuts my face before whispering in a calming low tone. Hey, you're okay. You can do this, Wallace. I know you can. All I'm able to do is give her a silent nod. I'm not sure I believe her, but I'll try my best to live to her expectations. Good, it's just temporary split up. Catch up with you later. Gives me just to speak into the room more than her trust in me is absolute. It's reassuring in a strange, roundabout way. taking a couple steps away from the bar as I look down the hallway in front of me. Yes, unlike the previous areas I've been in, this feels warmer. It might just be the color of the lights, which are a sunset orange color, or even the new beige color of Florence affecting the mood and tricking me into thinking it's warm against my pads. Like the cozy temperature, it doesn't feel more comforting. In fact, this place feels suffocating. I know it's just my imagination. But the walls feel closer here. All the previous areas were pretty barren. This place, objects littered throughout, taking up lots of space. These range from benches periodically placed across the wall to many different kinds of potted plants. There seems to be a distinct effort to make this place look less threatening and put whoever's down here at ease. Well, fuck no. Not having any effect on me, though. Maybe if I came in normal circumstances, I could appreciate it better. Yeah, I would say so. As it stands, it's like this whole place is trying to leave as little space for me as possible. Nothing to the degree that I can't just walk through, but it's putting me on edge. Can't focus on that anymore. I have to be brave. Liz counting on me to meet up with her, and Lucas might need help too. Straightening back, I push down all the growing anxiety welling on my chest and my first steps down the corridor. Like a lean boar, something catch my eye, and the wall's a nose board. But instead of being covered in schedules or anything formal, it's completely swarmed by children's drawings. Oh jeez, okay. 3 hours is really fastly approaching. Wow. I wonder if the kids who drew these are patients here. It's like the hospital kept little mementos of all of them. There must be at least 50 of them. I know the fear I've been feeling, I can feel the corner of my mouth curl up. Such a wholesome sight that I can't help myself. One that catches my eye most is a drawing containing a poorly drawn fox holding hands with some kind of canine. Both have smiles on their faces that are bigger than their entire head. Above the two of them is the words, new friend. Yeah, I was right. This is very Silent Hill. This is very Silent Hill. I'm not even sure if it's the fox, but looking at it reminds me of Lucas and why I'd been so curious about this department in the first place. Lucas is probably freaked out of his mind, and I'm here staring at children's doodles. Giving myself a firm shake of that, I turn away from the board and walk at a faster pace. No more detours, meeting up, being back up early as soon as possible. Turn around at an upcoming corner, the heat had become increasingly harder to ignore. The temperature had been continuing to rise to a more uncomfortable level the further into the apartment I go. It had been freezing in the area I woke up in, but here it's much warmer, like there's a heater turned on to a low setting. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Is there no one running in this area? Is anyone running in this area? The lights are working here, so they have electricity. Maybe they have one here for patients' comfort and they didn't turn it off. Doesn't make a lot of sense, but neither does this place have any kind of electricity at all. Not best to get too caught up on these till all of us are out of here. Help. Her frizzes in my ears perk up at a voice. Weak and barely audible, but thankfully the corridor is silent. Running down the hallway further, I can't help but find anything out of the ordinary besides the pieces of furniture scattered throughout the hall. Hello, where are you? Are you okay? Voice sounds panicked and feel my tail lashing against the ground. My heartbeat is thumping in my ears, and I have to focus to block it out. Oh, jeez. Oh, this is that you. Please, I can't. I can't. This got so all into sobs and gasping breaths, having some kind of panic attack. Hearing with more clarity the voices of Lucas, no doubt about it. I can't see him. And it's higher pitch and is subdued, but his subdued southern accent is instantly recognizable. Lucas, where are you? I can't see you. This time he doesn't respond. The sounds of his crying and erratic breathing reverberating through the silent corridor is all I hear. It sounds like he's only a third too away, but there's nowhere for him to be. There isn't anything big enough for him to hide behind. So I see it, a long crack in the wall about foot level. It's tall enough to fit someone small like Lucas and myself, and definitely wide enough. Looks long enough for someone of Lee's height. Rushing over, I run into one of the benches, stabbing the arm into my gut. It's a spike of pain, more surprise than anything else. Last only moment before I recover and fall down my knees, pressing my face against the ground. Holes expansive, reaching deep into the wall like some kind of hideaway spot, and inside it, looking more messed up than I've ever seen him before, is Lucas. Amber's eyes are staring right into my own, but it's like he doesn't see me. Pupils are so small I can only make them out. They just make them out, they're swallowed up in his hollow amber eyes. Are you okay? Are you hurt? Doesn't respond, but his ears flick at the noise. He's definitely hearing me. Whatever is going on, he's in too much shock to do anything. Very limited light, but I can make out the vague details of him. It doesn't look like he's injured, just frazzled and rigid. Having an episode and he needs help. Needs my help. Lying myself flat on my stomach, I shimmy myself into all head first. No need to go sideways like Lucas is. Hey, I'm coming in, don't panic, okay? Again, there's no response to the little whimper and nod. The motion is so short and slow that I almost miss it. I've seen Lucas upset and panic, but I've never seen this level of raw terror in his eyes before. He's completely paralyzed with fear. I go, letting out a grunt as I bump my head against the roof of this cavity. I halt my movement and try to rub at the spot, but I can't move my hand or reach it. Didn't realize how cramped it was in here. It's rather suffocating. No wonder he's panicking. I'm just glad I'm not claustrophobic. It's incredibly hot in here. It feels like a furnace. My fur is beginning to get slick with sweat pressing down against my skin. Maybe if I'm lucky, that slickness will help if I get stuck. Pushing onwards, I manage to slide myself close enough to be able to reach out and touch him. Fur in the back of his hands are matted down with sweat. They're damp and shaking with fear. Shuffling a little further, I slide my hands into his and grip it, making sure my touch is gentle. Don't need to upset him any further. It's okay, it's just me, I'm here to help. Response at first, but he squeezed my hand in a tight vice, claws digging into my hand. Not enough to do any damage, but I do wince in pain. Hope he didn't see that. Still didn't say anything, but I hear his breathing getting quieter, calmer, and the shaking in his hand is reduced to a small tremble. He still has my hand trapped in a death grip, but it's progress. It doesn't look like he's going to hyperventilate now, which is a good sign. What? Wallace. Voice is rasping, there's a cracking. It reminds me of a teenager in puberty. It sounds so pitiful. I just want to wrap him up and hide him away from everything. Here, it's okay. Never had to calm someone down like this before. I don't know if I'm doing it right or making things worse. But I think it's working. I can't breathe. I can't fucking breathe. It's so tight and everything begins to pick up again, turning back into pans. Looks like I spoke too soon. Hey, don't freak out. It's okay. You're safe and nothing's gonna happen. I'll get you out of here. Okay. Okay. Just a time after that, the only sound is Lucas's heavy breathing, and even that soon shrinks into quiet huffs. I hold my hand in a tight grip, but he's looking considerably better than when I first found him. You're doing better? Yeah, a bit. Everything's so fucking close, but you're helping a lot. Please don't let go. I won't, I promise. Thank you. Thank you so fucking much. See my body blocking most of the light coming in, but even in the darkness I can see out what his eyes are. Can you move? I'll try to help you out. I think I can. Don't let go, please. Running my thumb along his knuckles, I try to reassure him as much as I can. Pulling my hand lightly, I give him a small tug in my direction. Nothing strong, but just enough to help indicate which direction I am. I won't. Just come this way and focus on me, nothing else. Through a confirmation, I can hear him shuffling around, but for only a couple of seconds before I hear a light thudding sound. Oh my god, I hit something. Oh fuck, Wallace! He jumps up and he squeezes my hand even tighter. This way he's gonna actually draw blood or even break my hand. Probably just hit a wall. Try and focus on me and try to calm down. Doesn't respond, but I can hear him shuffling again. From my limited vision, I can see he's turned himself, but he's facing toward me. wanted to help him as much as I can to reach my other hand and interact with his remaining one. Hesitation interlocks our fingers and gives a firm squeeze. Not sure it's possible with the extra contact, but his death from my other hand lessens to a much more manageable tightness. So I notice this trembling and panic have stopped completely. His fur is still standing, but he looks considerably better than earlier. However, when I try and shuffle backwards to get further out of the hole, I figured out it's a lot harder without the use of your hands. After a couple seconds of useless wiggling, I'm left unsure how to proceed when a sound I didn't think I'd hear echoes in front of me. It's Lucas and he's laughing. I must have had an interesting look on my face because he looks away with his ears pressed down to hide their deepened inner layers. Sorry, I've been focusing on you to try to know what's going on. You were pretty funny. No, it's fine. I like hearing you laugh. It's much better than seeing you so scared and crying. You like hearing me laugh? Of course, you got a great laugh. The choking sounds so disgustingly cute that it caused me to have to look away now. Normally I would fret this is the time for this, but it's actively calling Lucas down, and then I do it 1,000 times. Hey, I'm gonna go let go of one of your hands just to get me out further. I won't be long, okay? There's a whine so quiet. Oh geez, 3 hours. Holy shit. Okay, I'm gonna get to a point where I can pause it. There's a whine so quiet it really picked up in the dim light, able to see Lucas nodding. Giving his hand one final squeeze, let go, and using my now free appendage to shove myself further out, guiding Lucas with me. Eventually I'm gonna get myself far enough out, some only upper body left in the cavity. Twisting my legs, able to get enough grip without the use of my hands. Reaching back in, Lucas snatches at my hand, and the shaky breath he lets out allows me to notice how close he is to panicking again. Just a little further. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I'm stopping here. Not only is the video now 3 hours long, my computer is at 22%. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this exorbitantly long episode of Violet Memoir. I feel like I just went on a fucking odyssey. Jesus fuck, that was a lot. I think this is the longest video I've recorded. I'm pretty sure the longest one was the ending of TJ's route. And that one is 2 hours and 45 minutes. So yeah, this is the longest video I've ever done on this channel. Outside of streams that are now deleted. Because they were absolute cringe. Yeah. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye, motherfuckers.